Rondell White will play left field. John Vanderwall's in right, and Enrique Wilson is the second baseman, and he will bat ninth. Pedro Martinez has taken the walk in from the bullpen out in right center field where the pitchers warm up. David Wells was before him, so Wells is now in the Yankee clubhouse. No, there he is sitting on the Yankee bench, and Pedro Martinez is ready. It's quite a matchup, Jim, and it's the type of matchup I know that people are expecting a 1-0, 2-1 type of game, but that's not always a guarantee when you have pitching matchups like this.
Yeah, the approach by pitchers in games like this is that if you're David Wells, you don't want to give up the first run. All of a sudden, you're in that 8th and 9th inning mentality in the first 2 innings. I don't think Pedro will be around at the finish. If he gives the Red Sox 6 innings and 100 pitches, they'll probably yank him out of there. But when you're going up against a great pitcher like Martinez, you don't want to give up that first run.
And every time Martinez pitches here at Fenway Park, it is an event. Jim mentioned 100 pitches they'd be happy with. His first game, he threw 84 pitches. Second game, 85. And today, they'd like to top him out at 105. They're being very careful with him.
And that's what he's done in the 2 starts. A rocky first start, then he came back with a win. Always a good strikeout to walk ratio, averaging 1 per inning. And the scouting report, a work in progress because he's coming back from that frayed tendon in his right shoulder, trying to build up some arm strength. He has put on about 14 or 15 pounds. And I hope you caught our pregame show. We talked about the 3 put-away pitches, fastball, changeup, slider, asked Paul O'Neill how he would approach him. And he's got that swagger that gives you the opinion that he is in control of the game at all times.
Now, Jim spoke about those 3 pitches. Why don't we take a look at what Pedro Martinez features?
That's the high blazer.
Work him away.
And a slider. And a change. And like Paul O'Neill had said on our pregame show, you can't look for all 3. You have to just hope that he makes a mistake and put that 1 pitch in play. And the thing to look for early with Pedro is what is his fastball like. If he's got a good explosive fastball early in the ball game, then the Red Sox could look for a good 6-inning performance from him. Let's check out the Red Sox behind Pedro in the field. A couple changes today. Ricky Henderson, the 43-year-old veteran, is in left field. His first start this season. Then Johnny Damon and Trot Nixon. And around the infield, Shea Hillenbrand at third. Nomar Garciaparra back in the lineup today, which means Ray Sanchez switches over to second base. Tony Clark at first, and Jason Varitek does the catching.
I'd like to give all of our viewers a reminder that Yankee Baseball is broadcast in Spanish. It is available by hitting the SAP button on your television, so please do that. If you can't stand the sound of our voices, well, then hit the SAP button and you'll hear the game in Spanish. Pedro Martinez is ready. He has taken his warm-ups and we're ready for baseball. Derek Jeter steps in, and of course he has to get booed here at Fenway Park because that's what it's all about. And they always say when a visiting player gets booed on the road, those are cheers. Derek leading off. It's been Alfonso Soriano's job for the season, but he is out with a tweaked hamstring, his left hamstring. He should be back in the lineup tomorrow. And the pitch by Pedro to start the game is lined into right center field. That is going to be a base hit. It will split the outfielders. It will roll to the bullpen wall. Jeter hustles to second. He thinks about third. He'll stop right there. So a leadoff double on the first pitch of the game by Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter swung at that pitch, Michael, like he got out of bed this morning saying, I'm looking first pitch fastball and I'm going to be ready for it. Boy, was he ever.
Well, the one thing they say that Pedro has not been doing so far this year, he's not throwing the breaking ball. So I guess you either guess the fastball or the change. And they say that might be a manifestation of his shoulder problems. Here's Nick Johnson. And the pitch to Johnson, up and in.
That was no message from the first pitch aggressive swing by Jeter. Of course, Nick, like a lot of hitters these days, have a tendency to dive into the ball a little bit, crowd the plate.
Johnson wants to pull the ball to move Jeter over. And the pitch is inside.
As Susan Waldman talked about the lineup changes on the pregame show, and here's one. And Paul O'Neill again commenting how Nick Johnson in this 2-hole can pull the ball, can take some pitches if a runner wants to steal bases.
The 2-0. There's a strike.
If you look at the difference in the approaches to hitting today of Nick Johnson and the Red Sox first baseman Tony Clark. See, Nick is not afraid to take a couple of pitches and hit deep in the count. Clark is a much more anxious hitter.
That one's low and inside. Not saying that he's pitching around Nick Johnson, but he knows that the guy on deck, Bernie Williams, has never hit him in his career. Now, he has some home runs, but he's a 190 hitter lifetime against Pedro over 42 at-bats. So Pedro has worked at 3-1 on Nick Johnson. And the pitch. Coming off speed, pulled the string, and Nick Johnson looks at strike 2.
Yeah, the expectations for Boston fans are high, but Pedro says, you know, I'm just coming back from that shoulder injury. There's the outstanding changeup, and he's still trying to get a feel of all of his pitches.
He is pitching with a frayed rotator cuff, and what he did over the winter was build the area around the arm, and he put on 14 pounds of muscle lifting weights for the first time in his career. And the 3-2. Swung and a miss, he struck him out. Fastball on the outside part of the plate.
Great job of coming back from a 3-1 count, a change-up to Nick Johnson, and then paints a fastball right on the outside corner that Nick swims through.
Here is Bernie Williams on this road trip so far. 4 games in Toronto and 1 here in Boston. Bernie 7 for 19. Hitting .237 on the season. Just 1 RBI. Has not yet hit a home run.
The Yankees certainly have seen enough of Pedro. He started 6 times against them last year. Not a particularly good record, 1-2, but don't let that fool you. His earned run average still down in the low 2s.
The 0-1 to Bernie.
That's his first breaking ball. With a tumbling spin.
And the 0-2. Another breaking ball. He won his last start 4-1. That was at Baltimore. And his first start of the year on opening day gave up 9 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned in 3 innings against Toronto, a game the Red Sox lost 12-11. And the 1-2. Check swing. The radar gun reading on the board in left center was 95 miles an hour on that fastball.
And notice how quickly Veritek gets the ball back to him. So I mentioned swagger in the scouting report. And when Pedro throws a pitch, if the hitter doesn't hit it, it's like he's just waiting for the ball to get. He knows exactly what he wants to do with the next pitch. Already has that planned ahead of time.
And the 2-2 pitch. Another breaking ball. Good check swing there by Bernie, identifying it. So the count is full at 3-2. So Jeter hit the first pitch for a double. Nick Johnson worked it full, and now Bernie has worked it full.
Tried to get him to bite on the breaking ball. Bernie, with good discipline, laid off the borderline pitch just off the inside corner.
And the full count delivery. Grounded foul.
Now we saw the numbers in the starting lineup today that Bernie has not hit well against Pedro, and obviously it's because of that breaking ball. That's 3 of them in this at-bat that he's thrown Bernie Williams. There are the numbers. Bernie just 8 for 42. And as you might expect against a great pitcher like Pedro, not much success up and down that lineup.
In these situations, as Veritek goes out and talks with Pedro, the Yankees had not had very little success last night, 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And obviously today they're 0 for 1. And this is something, despite the fact that they're 7 and 4, Jim, they have not hit that much with runners in scoring. A couple of games in Toronto, but otherwise they're not getting the big hits.
Yeah, it's early, but they're leading. They're last in the American League, or leading, whichever way you care to look at it, in leaving men on base, and there's an example of it.
And the 3-2. Just missed outside with the fastball. Pedro wanted that one. And he comes in toward home plate.
Cubby Culbreth behind the plate. Let's see what Pedro thought.
Number 25.
There at deck.
The first baseman, Jason Giambi.
Setting up outside and framed it, held it right there. Cubby Culbreth said no, just off the outside corner. Very close.
Last night's umpire, Bill Miller, probably rings him up on that.
Well, that's you talk about what affects a baseball game, and every day it's the 2 starting pitchers and the home plate umpire.
Here's Jason Giambi. The pitch is high. Giambi 4 for 17 lifetime against Pedro. We mentioned at the open that Giambi was 4 for 4 yesterday, all 4 hits to left field, and he told me before the game, he said, that means that I'm being patient, I'm not trying to do too much. He said, I'm keeping my shoulder in. He said, and Oliver is a lot like Joe Kennedy of Tampa Bay. He said, but with Kenny, I'm trying to jack everything into the bleachers. Yesterday, I just took what they gave me. So that means he's coming around just a little bit. The 1-0, check swing, but foul tip. Did it get him on the arm? Yes, it did. It did not get out of the way.
They might argue swing on this.
Bill Miller said no. They checked with him. Like it got
nobody coming out of the Red Sox dugout, but it looked like Giambi made an attempt to swing it. And then I guess when he held up, it caught him on the forearm. So he starts his swing,
Batting
and it held up, and it got him right on the
catcher,
left forearm.
Jorge Posada.
So big break for the Yankees early on, because the one hitter in their lineup that has hit well in these situations is coming up right now.
Posada, though, is terrible against Pedro Martinez. 2 for 28, 18 strikeouts against Pedro. And he looks lost most of the time when he comes up against the Red Sox right-hander. But the bases are loaded. And the pitch. There's the strike. Posada turns around and says, no, that wasn't. Jim alluded to his success with the bases loaded. 297 Posada with 3 grand slams. Foul back. And it's usually in these situations where Posada just doesn't know which of the 3 to guess on.
Well, you can't guess right here with 2 strikes, but after 2 inside fastballs, you could just about imagine that Pedro's going to throw him that good changeup down and away and try to get him to chase it. But again, as Paul O'Neill said on the pregame show, with 3 great pitches, you really can't just zone in on one. You have to look for the ball and react to it. Easy to say, tougher to do.
Posada did not start last night's game. He was hit by a foul tip Thursday in Toronto. He said it still hurts him, but he'll play through. It's going to hurt for a while. The 0-2 is fouled away. This is how Posada got hurt. Got him right between the pads on the chest protector. And they've been trying to work out the swelling. And he said it really does still hurt. And it'll be very, very interesting to see if the Red Sox run against him. It got him right on the area where he had surgery this winter to repair his shoulder. So there's some concern about that, but he's in the lineup today. Bases loaded with Yankees. Jeter at third, Bernie Williams at second, Giambi at first. Top of the first inning. And the pitch. Swung on and driven deep to right center field, giving chase Nixon and Damon on the run, both. Diving is Damon. It's off his glove, and it rolls into the triangle, and that will clear the bases. Jeter scores. Bernie scores. Giambi scores. And Posada's at third with a bases-clearing triple, and the Yankees have 3 runs on the board.
see Jorge hit many triples. And obviously Pedro Martinez not able to make his pitches early in this ball game. Posada turns on it, and a great effort by Johnny Damon, but right out in that triangle where it's 420, and Posada gets a triple.
Pitch to Ventura is grounded past the lunging Clark. Grabbed by Sanchez. He throws it past Pedro Martinez, backing up his Baratek. But here comes Posada. He will score. Robin Ventura moves to second base, and the Yankees have a 4 spot on the board here in the first inning.
Well, Yankees get a nice break there. Posada actually was not breaking off third. Should have scored on this ball easily. Nice effort by Sanchez. And Pedro, the throw is just a little too far ahead of him. He can't reach it. And because of the overthrow, you see Posada's waiting on third base, and Willie Randolph's trying to wave him home. And now once the ball gets by Pedro, he scores the 4th run easily.
Pitching coach Tony Cloninger talking with Pedro Martinez. Grady Little looking on. We'll see how they score that. They're going to score it totally in E4. Incidentally, the triple by Posada, only his 5th in his career. So an E4 allows Ventura to reach base and Posada to score, so there's not an RBI.
Rondell White.
Here is Rondell White. And the pitch is high. Rondell White actually was a teammate of Pedro in Montreal and said Pedro has told him there's 2 people he hates to pitch to. Rondell White and Vladimir Guerrero, because they're his 2 best friends in the world.
Pitchers go through that.
And that one is popped up sky high in the infield left side. Hillenbrand there. And Garcia Parra calls him off and makes the play for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, pitchers go through that because you get to be friends with guys, and they know you don't want to throw at them, and they get comfortable in the batter's box, and they end up wearing you out. I had that happen with Greg Nettles when he first got traded from Minnesota. You have to figure out a way to not like them when they're in the other uniform.
Bob Gibson had no problems, right? He used to hit people that were his friends. He hit Bill White once. Here's John Vanderwall. That's out of the strike zone. Vanderwall 0 for 6 against Pedro, and 5 of those strikeouts.
Have you ever been at a Yankee Red Sox game in Fenway Park where it has been this quiet?
And that one is grounded left side, fielded wide of the bag by Hillenbrand. He fires the mark, and that'll do it. But damage has been done. The Yankees put up a 4 spot, 4 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. After half inning of play, the Yankees 4, the Red Sox coming to bat. Pedro Martinez has thrown 23 pitches, and he's sitting in the dugout down by 4 runs. It's time for the Red Sox starting lineup, brought to you by Jeep. There's only one, and it's only your Tri-State Jeep dealer. 43-year-old Ricky Henderson leads off. Johnny Damon bats second and plays center. No more Garcia Parra, the shortstop, will bat third. Manny Ramirez will DH and bat fourth. Tony Clark's at first base. Shea Hillenbrand at third. Jason Baratek is going to catch and bat 7th. Good numbers against Wells. 10 for 25, 2 of the 10 home runs. Trot Nixon's in right, batting 8th, and Ray Sanchez, the second baseman, will bat 9th.
And let's check out Boomer in his 2 starts this season, a perfect 2-0. 13 innings. That walk-strikeout ratio will improve. He's got much better control than that. And the scouting report on David Wells. The outside corner, to me, a left-hand pitcher in Fenway Park with a lot of right-hand hitters in the other lineup, is always important to have command of the outside part of the plate, make them go the other way. Is a fly ball pitcher and control freak. Over the past 4 or 5 years, he has always been in the top 5 in fewest walks per 9 innings, and that's important in Fenway Park. No free passes, because some of those fly balls end up being home runs.
Ricky Henderson will lead it off for the Red Sox. And his numbers really jump out at you, Jim.
Best leadoff hitter in baseball history. Scored more runs than anybody else. Stolen bases. Leadoff home run 79. And at 43, the Red Sox still hoping he can make a contribution to their lineup.
Ricky was asked if this was going to be his last year. He said, nope. He said, I'll know.
Yeah, keeps himself in great shape.
And that one is fouled away. He's been up to bat 4 times this year. This is his first start in left field, and he has 1 base hit. A lot of people thought he would go into the baseball horizon after last year. He picked up his 3,000th hit, I believe, on the last day of the season, but it's not about numbers with him. He just loves to play. He said, what would I do if I wasn't playing? That one's up and in.
Loves to tantalize pitchers. Both in the batter's box and on the bases.
Rolling inside.
If there's one hitter in the last 20 years that's responsible for influencing the strike zone, and we've seen fewer high strikes called in the last 20 years, I'd say it's Ricky. And he's the one that started hitting in that crouch, and all those borderline pitches when he was in the crouch were about belt high. If he would have stood up, were strikes, and he got them to be called balls, and as a result, I think the whole strike zone came down a little bit.
Pitch is a little bit low.
Pretty nice company there. Most consecutive seasons that he has hit a home run. Ty Cobb and Rusty Staub. An interesting trivia question with those two.
And that one is chopped slowly toward third. Charging Ventura. He fires high over the head of Giambi and up against the dugout. Backing up nicely, Wilson, and Ricky Henderson reaches on an E5. Bad throw by Ventura.
Batting second.
Yeah, Robin opted to throw it on the run. I think he had time to plant his foot. You see Ricky's only about halfway down the line right there, and Robin throws it on the run way over Giambi's head. And then Ricky, who started to head for second, had to scramble back to first base.
Real speed replay. You can see Ricky could still burn it down the line. Here's Johnny Damon, and the breaking ball is a strike. Damon has good numbers against Wells, 10 hits and 30 at-bats. Damon runs the hands up the bunt, takes a strike.
Mentioned the trivia question, Michael, in that home run graphic. Rusty Staub and Ty Cobb, the only 2 players in baseball history that hit home runs as teenagers when they were 19 and also hit home runs in their 40s.
Balls goes over. Down 4-0. Is it too early to hold Henderson to say don't steal?
I don't think so. I mean, you can't sit back and hope you hit a grand slam off David Wells. If Ricky feels he can steal second base, you know, that's you just get him back 1 or 2 at a time.
The 0-2 is inside. Damon, an historically slow starter, and under 200 batting average in April and May. But he's 9 for 32 with the Red Sox. He's hit safely in 7 of the 8 games this year. Breaking ball just missed. Red Sox historically do not run. Ricky historically does. And that graphic proves it. And the 2-2. Hit sharply left side, past Ventura. Jeter fields and fires to second. Enrique Wilson with a nice catch, keeping his foot on the bag to get Ricky on the force.
Nice play by Derek Jeter. We showed some range of him last night. Gets over there and gives Enrique Wilson a nice sharp throw so he can catch the bag and get out of the way. And the fans who missed Nomar playing last night welcome him back to the lineup today.
Garciaparra missed most of last year with a split tendon in his right wrist. He only played in 21 games in the 2001 season. And the pitch is grounded right to Wells. Could be 2. Fires to Enrique Wilson 1. Back to first, double play. 1-4-3 turned nicely by Wells and Wilson to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error because of the double play. Nobody left on base. At the end of 1 full inning of play, it's the Yankees 4 and the Red Sox nothing. You're watching Yankees baseball on the Yankee Entertainment and Sports Network.
Get a second shot.
Chat with his name on it. Asked Don Zimmer, the Yankee bench coach, what he thought about that honor that Stanley's achieved so soon.
This first year he's been a bench coach, right?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I mean, he went out of his way to show me his fungo with his name on it. And after 54 years, I don't have my name on it. And I'll tell you the truth, I was a little PO'd, that's all.
And Mike Stanley was giving it to Don Zimmer as Enrique Wilson loses his bat into the stands. Mike Stanley told Don Zimmer, Don, listen, if you stick around the game long enough, maybe you'll get one of these
You
bats.
get your own personal fungo, huh?
There's Stano, former Yankee, a very good guy, and he was close with Grady Little when Grady Little was the bench coach here with the Red Sox. That one's in the dirt. See if Pedro has settled down here in his second inning of work. Up and in. Lights are on here at Fenway Park. It's overcast. The sun trying to peek through the clouds, and it actually succeeds every now and then, but right now it's kind of dark overhead. Fouls off the change. Wilson starting in place of Alfonso Soriano. His left hamstring tweaked just a bit. And they expect him back in the lineup tomorrow. He tried to get in today, but Joe Torre said, let's give it a day. Popped up behind the plate. Varitek giving it a look and makes the play. You almost have to feel a little bit for Pedro Martinez because he is not what he once was. And that's got to be quite an adjustment for a pitcher. You have to become a different pitcher. You have to have a different mindset.
Yeah, you're not going to get it all back in one game. Now, I noticed if the radar gun is accurate, he came out the first inning. Some of his fastballs were mid-90s. Coupled to Wilson there were like high 80s here in the second inning.
Pitch to Jeter's outside.
See, and that was 87. So again, what the radar gun can tell you is that, you know, maybe after that first inning and he's down 4 right now, he's just, as in spring training they say, he's going to get his work in. You know, he's not going to take any chances on letting out a little more than he's capable of doing. In other words, right now he's going to try to give the Red Sox another 4 or 5 innings and just get comfortable on the mound and maybe get a little command of all of his pitches.
And that one's hit the short. Garcia power fields and flips the ball 2 away.
In fact, Michael, something good could come out of this for Pedro, because I get asked every winter, what's it going to take for Pedro Martinez to pitch a full year healthy? Because he puts so much into every pitch, and he's going to have to learn to get hitters out like this. Little outside, not particularly hard, 85, 86 miles an hour, just off the outside corner. And he gets a ground ball from Jeter, so maybe become more of a pitcher, contact pitcher, not as much of a strikeout pitcher.
There's Nick Johnson, who he did strike out in the first inning, his only strikeout of the game. Pitch is outside.
I've mentioned before a couple of my favorite pitching coaches, and one is a former great Yankee, the late Eddie Lopat, and Johnny Sain, now retired.
Almost hit Nick.
Certainly want to pitch Nick Johnson inside, don't they? Both of them said you never really learn how to pitch until you have an arm problem. And maybe that's what Pedro's going to go through here now this year. See, he's working quickly, changing speeds. Nick Johnson, who leads the league in getting hit, he is right in on top of the plate. Can't do much about that one.
Fouls it back. Well, he's been hit 5 times. That's good for number 1 in the big leagues. That's something that you really don't want to lead the big leagues in.
Yeah, his whole demeanor, his personality, very laid back, very quiet. He stands up kind of close to the plate, and he doesn't react quickly on pitches inside.
And he will not give ground, and that's part of the problem. He dives in. And the 2-2 again inside. Right at the belt they seem to go after him. It either hits him on the backside or the thigh or the hip. And the count now full of 3-2.
See how close he is to the plate.
That one's line foul.
See, hitters that stand close to the plate like the ball inside. That's why they're up there. They like it close to them. And you'll see pitchers like Pedro, when they do pitch Nick Johnson inside, get it way inside, so the only thing they can do is pull it foul.
And the 3-2. Hit sharply, a base hit to right field. Trot Nixon fields and fires it into Sanchez, so a 2-out single for Nick Johnson.
Number 51.
Here's Bernie Williams.
The center
Bernie
fielder,
spent his
Bernie
pregame time
Williams.
productively. He went inside the scoreboard. Take a look at some of the history in there. See some of the autographs. They found his name. And then he said, okay, now it's time to go to work. Pitch is outside. He walked in the first inning, came around to score on Posada's bases clearing triple. Now that gentleman is actually working in the scoreboard. Bernie had to leave the scoreboard to go to work. Runner goes. The 1-0 is low. The throw to second is not in time. A stolen base for Nick Johnson.
For 11 now for Jason Varitek, and it's always a reflection on the catcher, but Jason Varitek had no chance. Check out the jump. As soon as Pedro lifted his leg, Nick Johnson was on his way. And Johnny Bench in his heyday couldn't have thrown out Nick Johnson on that pitch. Plus they picked a breaking ball, a perfect pitch to pick for Johnson to steal a base.
And the 2-0. There's a strike. Nick Johnson gives the appearance of not being fast, but he's got pretty good speed for a guy his size. That's his first career stolen base in the big leagues, but he runs pretty well. And the 2-1 is popped up behind the plate. That'll be out of play.
I guess the thing that's impressive about Nick Johnson for a rookie, and he's starting to answer the questions already about, you know, could he hit in the big leagues and is he going to be ready to play this year, is he gives you the appearance, and mentally and the way he carries himself, that he's been in the big leagues for 4 or 5 years. Plays like a veteran. Great patience at the plate.
Pitch is outside. Well, we told the story in spring training. Lee Mazzilli, the Yankee first base coach, had Nick Johnson when Mazzilli was the manager of Norwich, and Mazzilli told me last year that if this guy plays a full season in the big leagues, he will win the batting title.
Wow.
Mazzilli is a huge fan of Nick Johnson. The 3-2 is grounded toward first. Tony Clark there. He flips the Pedro cover, and that'll do it for the Yankees in the second inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of an inning and a half, it's the Yankees 4, the Red Sox nothing.
Nice view of Fenway Park, and I want to remind you that tomorrow night at 8 o'clock you can join my partner Michael Kay for an intimate conversation with longtime Yankee fan comedian Billy Crystal right here in the Yes Network series Center Stage. The director of 61 talks about growing up in New York, his childhood hero Mickey Mantle, and much, much more. Billy Crystal takes Center Stage tomorrow night at 8 right here on Yes.
Jim, all interviews should be like that. I said, hello, Billy, and he took it for an hour.
Wow.
I just had to sit back and laugh. He was very, very funny. Here's Manny Ramirez. And the pitch to Ramirez is a little bit low. Ramirez 11 for 39 lifetime against David Wells. He's gotten off to a slow start this year. 231, a home run, and 3 runs batted in. That one is driven out toward right center field. Vanderwall is there. He waves off Bernie, and he'll put it away for the first out of the second. At what point do you have a lead and you start to change the way you pitch and go? Let him just hit 4-0, not quite enough.
No, in this park, maybe about 12-0 in the 8th inning. Now, this stage of the game, if you're David Wells or anybody else, right now it's a tie game or a one-run game. You're pitching with that mindset.
Here's Tony Clark, and he swings and misses.
Yeah, I mentioned the comparison with Nick Johnson. Now, here's Tony Clark, who has a few years in the big leagues, yet he's not really as patient a hitter as maybe he should be and could be. Get more production out of his ability.
Swings and misses at a change. And he's down 0-2. He's hitless in his last 18 at-bats. He started the season 4 for his first 9. But now hitting 172. Strike 3 outside corner, and you can see Clark is fouled up when he takes a fastball right down the middle.
Yeah, chased 2 off-speed pitches, and then Boomer and Posada with a nice selection just froze him with the fastball.
Batting 6th, number 29.
You know, there are some hitters you go over the report and you say, you have to get him out, like Randy Ramirez. You have to make good pitches to get him out. And then there are hitters that if you give them enough chances, they'll just get themselves out. And that's what Tony Clark is going through right now.
Here's Hillenbrand. He has an 8-game hitting streak. Every game the Red Sox have played this year, he's hit safely. First pitch is low. Last year as a rookie, he started off hitting in 9 straight games. And the first Red Sox rookie since Ted Williams to pull that off. So hit today, he matches last year's streak. There's a strike. "4-0 Yankees here in the bottom of the second inning at Fenway Park. David Wells trying to go 3-0. And people were worried in spring training if he was going to be able to crack the rotation. The 1-2. And this is inside.
So far, all the questions that were there with the Yankees, and I had a chance to talk to Don Zimmer a lot during the winter, just going over the Yankee team and, you know, who's going to play right, who's going to play left, is Wells going to be okay, can Nick Johnson play? All these questions are being answered the positive way.
Grounded to short, Jeter fields and flips to Giambi in a nice 1-2-3 inning for David Wells. Giambi, Posada, and Ventura will face Pedro Martinez in the top of the third. Yankees up 4-0. Jason Giambi will lead off against Pedro Martinez, and he's coming off a great night last night with 4 base hits to the left side.
So when he took batting practice, hit everything the other way against lefty Darren Oliver. As I think Paul O'Neill could attest to, this is such a great hitter's park for a left-hand hitter. Ball looks so good.
Giambi got hit on the left, right above the left elbow in the first inning. Swings and misses at a change.
A little kinder to hitters now for day games in Fenway Park. They don't get quite as many people in here. You notice right there, black canvas over the seats to give the hitters a little better look at the ball.
The 0-1.
Now, years ago, when the Red Sox almost won their world championship, they had a terrific left-hand pitcher named Bruce Hurst. And on day games, hitters had a hard time seeing that ball come out of Hurst's hands and John Tudor in those days.
Got him again. So Giambi has been hit twice. You can tell Giambi not exactly elated with that occurrence, and he'll take first.
Yeah, That'll bring up an interesting situation. You never want something like this to affect whether you win the ball game, but you know, Pedro has that reputation. A little bit frustrating for him right now. And after hitting Giambi in the left elbow, he just sticks one right there in his ribs. And see what kind of an answer David Wells has for that when he takes the mound.
Wells protected the Yankees in spring training. Pitch to Posada, foul back.
If anything, I thought that maybe if he got Giambi out, Posada'd be the one he'd, you know, tie a little bow tie on, because Jorge has had, in addition to the triple, the first pitch in this at bat, that's Giambi getting hit in the first inning. He's had 2 very aggressive swings against him.
And that one is low and inside, blocked by Varitek. Going to second is Giambi. He'll make it in ahead of the toss by Varitek. You can tell the Yankees are going to run on Varitek every single chance they get. That'll probably be a wild pitch. It was in the dirt, just kicked slightly away from the catcher, and a Giambi alert goes to second base.
Another tumbling breaking ball, a little flat with the breaking ball, and Giambi's able to advance on the wild pitch.
That one's fouled back. Posada, as we mentioned earlier, got hit on the right shoulder on a foul tip Thursday. And he said he has some swelling, and I asked him, do you have any black and blue? He goes, no, not at all. I said, why? He said, Gene Monahan says I have good enzymes.
Okay.
I'd never heard that.
Yeah.
So good enzymes, no black and blue. Write that down in the medical book. 1-2. Strike 3. Posada down looking.
He knew it. Good breaking ball. Yeah, actually, trainers can give you a tablet, a couple of tablets of enzymes that if you're hit or you have a bruise that will try to decrease that bruising. There's the good curveball from Pedro, and he locked Posada up with it.
Here's Ventura. He reached on an E4. That was in the first inning. Inside. You know, we thought Ventura had an E5 on Ricky Henderson's ground ball in the first. Incredibly enough, that was scored a base hit for Henderson, which we just do not understand. Ventura will take it.
Yeah, that's not good for the integrity of the game. I mean, Ricky Henderson take all the hits he can get, but he wants to earn them. I mean, he was halfway down the line. It was just an errant throw. Well, the pattern is consistent with Pedro. You know, he really hasn't zoned in on the outside part of the plate at all. With the left-hand hitters, he's consistently missing with the breaking ball inside, and then when he does throw the fastball, he's left a couple of them out over the plate.
2-1. There's a change. Yeah, that change was 83 on the gun. And his fastball's been 88, 89. That's not quite enough separation.
Well, and I think if he wants to, you know, he can reach back and get it up there in the 90s. But I think right now he's kind of on cruise control. And I don't mean he's out there not trying. But, you know, when you're coming back from an arm injury and you're down 4 runs, he came out trying to throw a few fastballs, didn't have good command early, and he made a bad pitch to Posada, and that cost him 3 runs early. I think right now it's just kind of like a spring training outing. Get your work in, throw all your pitches, try to get a little command of things, and look ahead to your next start. Not that the Red Sox couldn't win this game. Certainly it's early enough for that, but you don't expect Pedro to be out there for more than 75 to 100 pitches.
And the 2-2. Swung and a miss. He reached back on that one, 95 miles an hour. Just what Jim was talking about. And he blows it past Ventura for the second out.
Yeah, as the late Dizzy Dean used to say, he reached back for a little extra. And when he wants it, it's there.
The left fielder.
Right past Ventura at 95 miles an hour.
Here's Rondell White, who popped to short. That was in the first. White and Martinez, as we mentioned, very good friends from their days together with the Expos. Another good fastball, blew it by him upstairs. And just as you mentioned, White's very comfortable against Martinez because he even admitted, I don't think Pedro's going to hit him. And there's always that fear that batters have about Pedro. That's an added pitch.
Yeah, see, now, you mentioned it earlier. If he were a teammate of Bob Gibson's, that's the first thing Gibby would do. And, you know, with the purpose being, I don't want you to think that we're, you know, off the field is fine. We're not buddies anymore. You're in the other uniform, and he wants to get the ground rules straight.
That one's popped up right side. Backing up is Sanchez. Coming in is Nixon. Also the center fielder Damon, and Damon makes the catch for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left after 2.5 innings of play. 4-0 Yanks. Tomorrow night at 9, go inside the pinstripes with a look at the life and career of the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig, on Yankeeography. From his days in the Ivy League to his untimely departure from the game he loved. It's a compelling story of strength and courage. It's the premiere of Yankeeography, Lou Gehrig. Tomorrow night at 9, right here on Yes. Busy night on Yes. 8 o'clock center stage with Billy Crystal. Then Yankeeography, Lou Gehrig. You should not miss tomorrow. You should never miss a day on Yes, ever. Here's Jason Varitek, and the pitch from Wells is a strike. Okay, Giambi's been hit twice.
Yep.
When does Wells retaliate? Is
later
he told
in the game.
to retaliate, or
No.
does he just take it upon himself?
I'd wait till later in the game.
There's a strike.
Right now, you got Pedro Martinez, a great pitcher. You got him down 4 runs. I wait till later when they least expect it.
That one's grounded softly towards short. Charging Jeter takes his time, fires one away.
And, you know, and in that particular case, it might not even be hitting anybody. I mean, whether it's Nomar or Manny Ramirez, just sometime later in the game, you know, you buzz the tower. You get one up there, make them move their feet, just so you've sent the message that if you're going to hit our guys or throw inside, you know, we'll do the same thing. It's not going to be, the late Don Drysdale was always 2 for 1. You hit one of my guys, I'll hit 2 of yours.
Here's Nixon. Pitch is inside. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Fenway Park. The Yankees lead 4-0. All 4 runs coming in the 1st inning. The big blow, a 3-run triple by Jorge Posada into the triangle just to the right of dead center field. And that one might be the answer. Now they warned Wells. He threw behind Trot Nixon. Now Joe Torre's going to come out and argue with field and front runner. Pedro looking on.
Boy, I wish they'd get rid of the DH. That would solve all this stuff. But, I mean, you knew this was going to happen. I didn't think it would happen till, you know, till later in the game. And the home plate umpire has to, you know, take command of it right now. And I think Joe's argument is that, you know, he's thrown 3 in there against my hitters, Joe Torre is saying. And the Wells comes, actually threw that ball behind Trot Nixon. See, I'd rather wait till later in the game and have the threat be there that every hitter that steps in the box is thinking, I wonder if he's going to buzz me. And then you don't do it, and then finally maybe about the 7th inning you make some hitter move their feet. I think it's much more effective that way.
Larry Young, the crew chief, comes over and joins the conversation. Let me play devil's advocate. Don't you think doing it now could be an advantage as well? Because now you take the bullet out of Pedro's chamber, because Pedro could still throw at somebody as well.
Yeah, and I don't think so. I put winning the game first and foremost, and I wouldn't want to do anything early in the game just to, you know, to put a guy on needlessly right now.
The 2-0, a little bit low. Also, Pedro's got a high pitch count. He'll know when he's about to come out of the game, and then he could drill somebody then anyway.
Well, you know, Pedro has that reputation for pitching inside. It's you know, these two teams play each other 19 times. So there's plenty of time for, and you know, you don't want to make the game of baseball get into where, you know, you're going to plunk one of my guys in there, but you are protecting your hitters, and you want to push the other guy's hitters off the plate.
That one's chopped to first, fielded by Giambi, steps on the bag, 2 away. You know what I wonder about? Why Trot Nixon? I mean, they hit Jason Giambi, your stud.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
It should be Manny Ramirez.
Right.
Batting 9,
Well, David Wells making a lot of friends in the Yankee clubhouse because Shane Spencer got hit by the Phillies toward the end of spring training, and then he retaliated and even came out in the press and said, yes, I did retaliate. You can't hit my guy like that. Now he does this for Jason Giambi. Here's Ray Sanchez. That one is grounded to second base. Right there is Wilson. He flips to Giambi, and Wells has not allowed, well, he has allowed one hit, that tainted hit by Ricky Henderson in the first, but 9 up, 9 down. The end of 3, 4-0 Yanks.
What makes the Nissan Pathfinder the envy of all SUVs? The #1 selling V6 import SUV in the Northeast. A 5-star crash test rating. 240 horsepower. Hey, if you were an SUV, you'd be jealous too. And now, get low 3.9% APR for 60 months, plus $1,000 cash back on the new Pathfinder. Offers end April 30. Nissan. Driven.
On the next center stage,
Good afternoon, and welcome to Yankee Stadium.
the world's #1 Yankees fan, Billy Crystal.
The Yankees are the greatest team of all time.
Center stage, tomorrow night at 8.
Only on Yes.
Their names echo through history on the next Yankeeography, the life of the Iron Man, Lou Gehrig.
He was the greatest first baseman that ever lived.
Yankeeography, Lou Gehrig. Tomorrow night at 9, only on Yes. Relive the greatest pinstripe moments on the next Yankees Classic, the night Louisiana Lightning struck again. And again. And again. Today at 5, only on Yes.
With a lower, wider stance, a new rear independent suspension, and a more powerful engine, the 2002 Ford Explorer 4x4 can help smooth out any road. Now check out the great deals on the best-selling SUV on the planet, Ford Explorer 4x4. Visit your Tri-State Quality Ford store.
Top of the 4th inning, John Vanderwall leads off against Pedro Martinez. Yankees lead 4-0. And that one's low and inside. Now, right before he began his warm-ups, Pedro kind of stared into the Yankee dugout on the third base side.
Cubby Culbreth telling him, anything inside with intent, you're gone.
That one's grounded slowly up the third base line, hugs the line, but then kicks foul.
And as you mentioned, now it takes away that inside pitch for both pitchers, because even if they try to get in there, and one's going to get away once in a while. Pedro explaining to Cubby Culbreth, I think that, I'm having a little trouble with my control, and a couple of those pitches got away. Only the pitcher knows for sure whether the pitch was thrown with intent or not.
One is fouled away. I always felt that rule really made a tough thing for the umpires because they have to read minds.
There's Giambi getting hit on the forearm, and then that one.
Now anything up and in, you have to wonder, well, did he do that on purpose or he's trying to set up an outside pitch? So Culbreth will have to read some minds. The 1-2, there's up and in.
Yeah, see, the real intent of the brushback pitch is just to make the hitter move his feet. Notice that when the hitter's getting aggressive and stepping in, you just want to make him move his feet. The intent is not to drill him in the ribs or throw it behind him or anything like that.
You ever hit anybody on purpose?
Yes. Yeah.
A lot?
Not a lot, no.
Was it because of a retribution?
Yeah, it was a retaliation. We kidded about it later. It was John Mayberry, played first base for Kansas City.
You didn't pick on the little guys, did you? Up and away, so Vanderwall walks. It's time for today's Aflac trivia question. Now, Pedro Martinez is 5'11", and it looks like he might be on his way to the Hall of Fame. Well, who was the only pitcher under 6 feet tall, born after 1900, to be elected to the Hall of Fame? There's just one. And we want to know, who was that pitcher? Who is that pitcher? Next inning, we'll let you know. Here's Enrique Wilson. And also, Pedro Martinez listed at 5'11". I think that's a bit generous. I think he's a little shorter than that. Pitch to Wilson is inside.
You can tell in his upper body he does look a little bulkier than he did last year. Looked like the way he finished off the last inning that he was kind of back through a 95-mile-an-hour fastball past Ventura and got Rondell White out with a couple of good fastballs. But now he's, I think, back to just, you know, touch and feel, a little change up, trying to get some feel for the breaking ball. And hasn't really thrown a good fastball yet this inning.
You know, one thing that would concern me, and the Red Sox people that I've spoken to say the same thing. It's not like Pedro's coming back from surgery. Pedro seems like he's trying to postpone surgery, so who knows if it's ever going to get any better than this. He's pitching with a frayed rotator cuff.
Yeah, every time he has an outing like this, that's the question that is going to come up. Should he have had it repaired?
Inside as Wilson squares the bunt. I think his biggest fear is that his brother had the same injury and never came back and was the pitcher. His brother's Ramon Martinez. So I think he's just trying to put it off as long as he possibly could. But most people around Boston think that Pedro will never be Pedro again. There's a strike.
Oh, I thought his comments after his opening day loss were pretty encouraging to Boston fans, because, you know, when he got hit, it would have been easy to say, well, you know, my arm's just not right. He said he felt great. He said he felt even better in his second start.
Runner goes. The 3-1 is chopped slowly towards second base. Sanchez with one play. He makes it at first. Moving to second is Vanderwall. In that first start against the Blue Jays, where he got hammered, Buck Martinez said he looks like a guy who's trying to find an arm slot where it doesn't hurt. So who knows if Pedro is fibbing about the fact that it doesn't hurt. But he's obviously not the same pitcher he was 2 years ago.
And he's the only one that knows.
Martinez also got upset at Pedro Martinez later in that series because Pedro Martinez walked through the Blue Jay clubhouse, and Buck said that one of the players should have punched him out. He said there should not be a visiting player in our clubhouse.
Yeah, I think the real story behind that, I think it was a little blown out of proportion to start with. I guess Pedro was making an appearance down the left field line here. When he came back, it was all jammed with fans, so the most convenient way to do it was to make a quick detour through there. I don't think he went in there intentionally to socialize.
Pedro did have a pretty good line. He said if he had such a problem with it, why didn't he say something?
Yeah, good point.
One foul ball.
So you can tell when he needs it. Now that one, after a couple of sort of mediocre by Pedro's standards pitches outside, he cranks it up to like 93 right in on the hand. So it's almost like he's got this little basket over here of 95-mile-an-hour fastballs, and he's going to use them very sparingly. He's maybe got about 15 of them that he could use, and he's going to pick his spots to do it.
Foul back. It's kind of sad because when he was right, it was so much fun to watch him pitch.
But, you know, I think with his mind and with the pitches that he has, even if he never throws consistently 95, there's no reason why he still couldn't be a successful pitcher.
Swung on a miss. He struck him out. So 2 away.
Here's the pattern to Derek Jeter. Just outside. And a little cutter, it looked like. There's the 93 fastball. Upstairs. And there's an excellent changeup to put him away.
Here's Nick Johnson. He singled to right. That was in the second inning. Struck out in the first. And the pitch. There's the strike. Yankees up 4-0 here in the top of the fourth inning at Fenway Park. That one's grounded left side. Diving stop there by Hillenbrand. Fields fires low and stretched by Court. Yes, he keeps his foot on the bag, says Lance Barksdale. And Pedro waits for Hillenbrand, and he will give him a high five. Tony Clark deserves some congratulations as well. 3.5 innings of play. Yankees 4, Red Sox nothing.
Relax, we got supplemental insurance.
What are you talking about?
If we get injured and miss work, we're covered for things like lost pay and other expenses with this.
With what?
Plus, they pay you cash. Great, huh?
Who does? Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Attention passengers. Our bingo tournament is starting in 5 minutes on the captain's deck. Also on deck. Today's craft is
Compared to Honda Civic and Ford Focus, Dodge Neon SXT gives you more cool features, like 132 horsepower, a 6-speaker CD sound system, spoiler, and fog lamps, for thousands less. Just something to reflect on. Grab Dodge's 7100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, Toyota, and Honda don't match it.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Here's tonight's starting lineup on the Yes Network, the home of champions.
Well, you might want to know the answer to the Aflac trivia question that we asked you in the top of the inning, and we will give you the answer. We asked who was the only pitcher under 6 feet tall, born after 1900, to be elected to the Hall of Fame. Come on, as a Yankee fan, you should know. Whitey Ford, the chairman of the board, elected to the Hall of Fame in 1974, right alongside his buddy Mickey Mantle. Here's Ricky Henderson leading up the fourth inning, the only base hit against David Wells. Inside, and it was not a base hit. You really have to wonder what Charles Scoggins, the official scorer, was thinking on that. It was a ground ball to Ventura thrown over the head of Giambi. Up and in.
Mentioned Mickey and Whitey going to the Hall of Fame. That was my second induction. That was a thrill for me that year. My first was '66 with Ted Williams and Casey Stengel.
Nice class there.
Yeah.
That's up and away.
Mentioned the base on balls, to avoid them so important here. The Yankees have had a couple of opportunities to add to their 4-run lead. There's what Michael's talking about. See, Robin has the ball, and Ricky, he's not even halfway. And he airmails Giambi, and that clearly was not a base hit.
Can you imagine if David Wells does not give up the hit the rest of the way, how Charles Scoggins, the official scorer, will come under scrutiny?
He'll change it about the 6th inning.
That one's fouled straight back here.
Yeah, I mentioned the importance from David Wells' standpoint of not walking anybody, because the Yankees have stranded 4. They've had a chance to add to that 4-run lead. And when you look up and down the Red Sox lineup, they have about 5 hitters in that lineup that have done pretty well against Boomer in their career.
Yankees 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position this afternoon. 3-2, checks his swing, so Ricky works a walk. He is still your prototypical leadoff hitter. Takes pitches, works the count, and Wells, who does not walk many people, walks Ricky to start the fourth.
Journey Demon.
see he's thrown 37 pitches, 22 of them strikes. Here's Johnny Damon. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Ricky goes. The pitch is low. The throw to second is not in time. 43-year-old Ricky Henderson with a stolen base.
And first time the Fenway fans have had something really to cheer about. Nice job by Damon. Takes the pitch. Tough pitch for Posada to throw. And then Ricky with that knack with the head first slide still maintains contact with that back foot. See him keep his left hand on the bag, and then the left foot comes in, so he never loses contact.
Chop foul. That stolen base makes him the oldest player to steal a base since Dave Winfield, when Winfield was with the Indians in 1995. Winfield was 43 years old in 7 months, and Ricky is 43-year-old 4 months. Good hard fastball strike on the outside corner. Damon signed as a free agent over the winter, one of the last moves that Dan Duquette made. He was relieved of his duties when the new ownership took over in spring training. Line foul. Duquette was the GM here. Now Mike Port is the GM. Kind of an interim type GM. They're still looking. But Port will serve that role this year. Port was the assistant to Duquette. The 1-2. Line drive. Base hit to right center field. Henderson rounds third. He will score. Vanderwall fields and flips it into Wilson. An RBI single for Johnny Damon. Red Sox are on the board. Yankees lead 4-1.
Leadoff walks. Don't get by with many of them, and a nice at bat by Johnny Damon. He chops down on that pitch and lines it into right center field. And Ricky with a leadoff walk.
Here's Nomar, first to throw to first. So in that one plate appearance, Ricky gained his walk record, gained on his stolen base record, and put one more on his run scored record.
Got the Red Sox on the board.
Garciaparra hit a comebacker into a double play in the first inning. Runs the hands up the bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner. Now the Red Sox will try to run on Posada because they know Posada's shoulder is barking, just as the Yankees are going to run and have run on Varitek. Damon has good speed. You can see him go. Foul back.
Good fastball hitter. Likes the first pitch. And I mentioned how right-hand hitters, if you can get them to hit it the other way in this ballpark, it used to be a pretty safe area. But nowadays, hitters bigger, faster, stronger. Nomar capable of hitting it out even to right field here.
Foul back.
Interesting contrast. Garciaparra and Manny Ramirez is on deck. Nomar, his hitting zone is probably just a few inches. I mean, he flicks the bat out there, and his point of contact is very, very narrow, whereas Manny drags that bat through the hitting zone. He seems to keep that bat through the impact zone forever.
Throw to first. Yankees lead 4-1. Second game of a 4-game set. Wells trying to throw out the timing of Damon over at first base. The 0-2 is grounded foul right into the Yankee dugout, and then out of the Yankee dugout into the seats. For Wells. And the 0-2. Grounded shortly to third. Backhanded nicely by Ventura. Fires high and over the head of Wilson into right field. But Damon stays put as Vanderwall backs up. A nice play by Ventura to get to the ball. But then in his haste to get the force, he threw high. We'll see how they score that. Whatever the scoring, the Red Sox have a legitimate threat. First and second, nobody out. 1 run already in.
Yeah, 2 careless throws by Robin Ventura. Nice backhand play. And instead of rushing it and trying to get 2, I'm sure if Robin could do it again, he would have taken a little time, planted his foot, and made sure of 1. And now suddenly with a walk, a single, and an error, the Red Sox 1 swing away from tying this game.
They score that one a base hit as well. And I guess I understand that. Maybe he would not have been able to get the force, even if he made a true throw. I think he would have, but if they scored the first inning one a hit, that one's definitely a hit. And here is Ramirez as the tying run. Crowd chanting Manny, Manny. Inside.
I think they're both errors.
I do too.
Yeah. I think an accurate throw would have gotten Damon at second base.
So a very generous official score has saved Robin Ventura 2 errors here. Ramirez a .296 hitter lifetime against the Yankees. 23 homers, 76 ribbies. That one is drilled to left field. That'll go off the wall. Playing it out there is Rondell White. Johnny Damon scores. Garcia Parra is held at second. That is a line drive RBI single off the wall by Manny Ramirez. And the Red Sox now trail the Yankees 4-2. That's another case, Jim, where the wall hurt the hitter.
Yeah, it's amazing just a couple of little things in this game of baseball. I mean, that pitch is centered. And again, how long Manny keeps the bat through the hitting zone. Almost hit it through the wall. But there's Pedro getting out of a couple mild jams to keep it a 4-0 game. And then Manny smokes this ball off the wall. Just a leadoff walk to Ricky Henderson has changed the whole tempo and flavor of this game. And the Yankees being in control to the Red Sox gaining control.
Here's Tony Clark. And the pitch is grounded softly towards short. Jeter flips to Wilson, one back to first. Bad throw, pulling Giambi off the bag. Yankee defense not playing very well this afternoon. As Garcia Parra moves to third.
Pretty tough just giving a team 3 outs in this park. If you give them 4 or 5, I mean, that you couldn't draw up a double play any better than that. Clark again anxious, chasing the first pitch. And Wilson with an errant throw. This is what it looks like if you were sitting inside the left field scoreboard here at Fenway. And Giambi did well just to get over and get leather on it.
Well, Stoudemire came out quickly, and the whole infield joined at the pitcher's mound to calm down Wells. Wells sometimes gets a little unraveled when his defense doesn't play well behind him.
Well, this is when you make big points with your teammates right now as a pitcher. You dig in and get out of jams like this. Your teammates run in and say, let's get him a couple more runs. You just gave him a couple they shouldn't have had.
Hillenbrand grounded to short. That was in the second. Garcia Parra at third. Tony Clark is at first. There's a strike. Backdoor breaking ball. The 0-1 is lined into left field. Coming on Rondo Weddle at the plate on the hop. Garcia Parra scores. Clark moves to second. An RBI single for Hillenbrand, extending his hitting streak to 9 straight. And the Red Sox have crawled back to within 1. Yankee lead is now 4-3.
Most improved player the Red Sox have, Shea Hillenbrand, picks up his 10th RBI. Like Wells and Posada wanted to get it in on his hands, and he's pretty quick in there. And picks up his 10th ribby.
Here's Jason Varitek. Grounded to short. That was in the 3rd. Red Sox still threatening. 1st and 2nd. Only 1 out. And that one is grounded shortly to second. This should be 2. Wilson to Jeter. On to Giambi, and the double play is turned. And Wells gets out of the inning with a lead. For the Red Sox, 3 runs. 4 hits. No errors. That's questionable. And 2 men left. 4 full innings of play. Yankees 4, Red Sox 3 here on Yes.
I've been buying Ford products with downs for...
Fred Budweiser out-of-town scoreboard at Shea. The Mets and Expos. 3 Mets errors in the 3rd, leading to 6 runs, including Galarraga's 3-run double. Now 7-0 in the 5th inning. Cleveland underway after some rain problems, going for their 11th win of the year. We'll have more on the postgame show. But right now, back to Boston.
Here at Fenway Park, even though the Yankees haven't been charged with any errors, they really have made 3 fielding miscues. That's helped the Red Sox crawl within 1. Michael, this anticipated low-scoring pitchers duel is now 4-3 halfway through the game.
And Bernie Williams will lead off against Pedro Martinez here in the 5th. There's a strike. One thing you want when you have good pitching is to get all the outs you have to get. And that's the key to your team, is winning games with the pitching that you have. And the Yankees have not done the job tonight. Inside. And that's another reason why, unless you see the games, the box scores really don't tell you that everything you need to know. I mean, it's going to say 0 errors for the Yankees, and they really have made 3 miscues. Big ones.
Be interesting to see how Pedro approaches this inning now that his team is within 1. We've seen him use that explosive fastball sparingly through the first 4.
And the pitch. Grounded into the Red Sox dugout, and it kicks out. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Yankees lead 4-3. Yankees got their runs in the 1st inning against Pedro. Posada with a bases clearing triple just to the right of dead center field here at Fenway Park. And then the Red Sox came back with 3 in the 4th inning. RBI single by Johnny Damon, RBI single by Manny Ramirez. Bernie swings and misses for the first out of the 5th inning. So that's where we stand at 4-3. Yankees leading the Red Sox.
Getting ahead with the off-speed stuff and then picking his...
Hey fans, the Yankees are offering a special ticket promotion for this coming week's series against the Baltimore Orioles. Just clip the Yankees coupon from Monday's New York Post, Daily News, Star Ledger, or Newsday, and bring it to Yankee Stadium's advanced ticket window to receive a tier reserved or tier box ticket to the April 16th, 17th, or 18th game against the Orioles for just $5. Great deal. We'll see you at the stadium. The pitch to Nixon is a breaking ball strike. He faked the bunt as we start up the bottom of the 5th inning. So the Yankees had a 4-0 lead, now at 4-3. Anybody's ball game. And the 0-1. There's a strike.
Yeah, this is an important inning for David Wells to regain control of the game. You know, the Red Sox come up with 3, and after you score 4 off Pedro, you figure, well, the game's over. You're going to win the game. You've got to have a routine inning here.
The 0-2 is looked at for a called strike 3. Nixon down on strikes.
Yeah, sometimes you make a pitch not really where you want it. You see Posada's target. He wanted it outside. Boomer hung it over the inside corner. Still got it in the strike zone. Picks up a strikeout.
Now, I know hitters can't peek. They're not allowed to. But peripherally, you hit. I mean, can you see where the guy's setting up? Do you have a sense where he's setting up?
You know who the peekers are.
Outside to Sanchez. Now, if you know a guy's setting up outside and you feel it as a hitter, if he misses the target, are you at a disadvantage?
Say that again.
You're at the plate.
Right.
You see Posada setting up outside. You feel it.
Yeah.
Fouled away. Do you get fouled up if he misses the target?
Well, sure you would. If you now, one of the great peekers was Steve Garvey. You know, Garvey he'd act like he had something in his eye, and you knew he was looking back at the catcher. And you'd have the catcher set up outside.
Grounded right side, backhanded nicely by Giambi. He takes it himself two-way. I guess that's what I was going for.
Yeah, see, the catcher
try to fool them.
Right, you'd have the catcher set up outside and forward so that the hitter could actually see the target. And then you throw it up and in. All you have to do is do that once. Here's the third.
Number 35.
Strike.
The left fielder.
To Trot Nixon. You see Posada had to reach back inside for it. They wanted that outside. Got by with it on the inside corner.
So what do you do to peekers? Do you do that?
You make them think the target is low and away, and you throw up and in. And you do that once or twice, and it's like stealing signs. Just once or twice a game, and that takes care of it.
Pitch to Ricky Henderson as a strike. Now, will the catcher ever say, hey, I see you peeking, I'm going to knock you down?
Yeah, I think sometimes they would, but more times than not, you'd use that to your advantage.
Strike. I'm surprised that Garvey, a borderline Hall of Famer, cheated.
Maybe that's why he's a borderline Hall of Famer. Well, I don't know. I can't call that cheating. I don't think it's against the rules.
Just missed outside.
Boy, that was. Boomer's had a good inning here. He's really, just as we mentioned, retaken control. I mean, he's made three perfect pitches against Ricky. I think they thought they may have had strike three on that one.
The 1-2. Breaking ball. Low.
I mean, if the hitter can, look back and the catcher isn't hiding his signs, you can't really call that. That's not cheating. I mean, you're just taking advantage of something the other team is giving you.
Strike three outside corner. Ricky down looking, does not like the call. So a strikeout for Wells, a 1-2-3 inning. And the pitchers are starting to get in a groove. Remember what Pedro did in the fifth inning, right? He struck out Williams. He struck out Giambi. He struck out Posada. Two up next, Ventura, White, and Vanderwall. Stay tuned.
Well, you're never gonna get it. Tell me what's that for? Be happy with what you get. This guy's been away since the Second World War. Well, you're never gonna get it. Tell me what's that for? Be happy with what you get. This guy's been away since the Second World War.
Need a cure for the common car? Take one of these, the totally new Nissan Altima. Just ask Kiplinger's Personal Finance. Or just ask Car and Driver. Better yet, read the label. The new Nissan Altima, named North American Car of the Year. Get over to your Nissan dealer and check out the new Nissan Altima. The cure for the common car. Nicely equipped at only $18,999. Nissan. Terrific.
Get a second chance to catch all the great Yankees action on Yankees Encore. Birdie way in front of play.
This one is gone.
Yankees win. Yankees Encore, only on Yes.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Here's tonight's starting lineup on the Yes Network, the home of champions.
We go to the sixth inning. Robin Ventura leads off against Pedro Martinez. Yankees lead 4-3. Martinez deals. Outside. Ventura 0 for 2. Reached on an E4 in the first, then struck out in the third. Yankees 4-3-0, Red Sox 3-5-1 through 5 innings. Inside.
Probably the last inning we're going to get a chance to see Pedro Martinez. The pitch count getting up close to 100 into his 6th inning of work.
Pitch is high.
Boy, he was as sharp last inning as we've seen him the entire game. Rolando Arrojo getting ready in the Red Sox bullpen.
There's a strike. And the 3-1. Line into right field. Coming on is Nixon on the run. He slides and he makes the play for the first out of the inning. Nice jump by Nixon. A pretty play.
Number 27, the left fielder.
Could have been an extra base hit except for this fine sliding catch by Trot Nixon. And if you caught Paul O'Neill on our pregame show, he told you how different it is to play right field in Fenway Park. You play well off that line because there's so much more territory out there, and it paid off for Nixon on that play.
Here's Rondell White. Up and in.
Yeah, see, here's the corner that Paul's talking about. You don't want to get caught where that thing goes as he said around the world. So you play over in this area to be able to cut down the angle and then also help your center fielder out a little bit. There's a lot of territory to cover out there in right field at Fenway as there is in left field at Yankee Stadium.
And that is a very odd corner as well. You could really get burned on that. There's a strike. That right field foul pole is called the pesky pole.
In fact, the Red Sox, even in batting practice, when they hit a ball in that area, they begin to say pesky, pesky. You know, like they want to wrap one around the pole.
Pitches up and in. Johnny Pesky, a former great with the Red Sox, still works with them.
Out here every day at age 82, hitting fungos to the infielders.
Pedro is now at 101 pitches. And they said they wanted to keep him at 105. The 3-1 to White. There's a strike.
I wonder how they came up with that number. I mean, sometimes, you know, in a game, pitchers will tell you this: you could throw 120 and feel like you're on cruise control. Other days you throw 30 and think you've thrown 15 innings. Different every time you go out there.
And the 3-2. Just missed outside with a breaking ball. So Rondell White walks. And that will do it as Grady Little comes out of the dugout. I guess they were pretty firm about that 105. Little has yet to signal, but he's looking out to the bullpen where Rolando Arrojo is ready.
I think Pedro's going to try to talk him out of it.
I guess Grady Little's biggest job this year is to protect Pedro from Pedro.
Well, most managers, if he's made up his mind, they'll make that signal before they ever get to the mound, so they won't give a pitcher a chance to change his mind.
Well, it is a call to the bullpen. The Singular wireless call to the bullpen, brought to you by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
It's Yankees baseball on Yes. The Bronx Bombers continue their monster mash against Manny and the Sox in a Sunday afternoon clash in Boston. Join Fred Hickman and Paul O'Neill for complete pregame coverage tomorrow starting at noon only on Yes. Their names echo through history on the next Yankeeography, The Life of the Iron Man, Lou Gehrig.
He was the greatest first baseman that ever lived.
Yankeeography, Lou Gehrig. Tomorrow night at 9 only on Yes.
Hey, this is cool.
How many 4x4s can you really take off-road?
That was great.
I suppose we better go give these guys a hand, huh?
With its patented four-wheel drive system, Jeep Liberty makes everyday Independence Day.
No laughing this time, guys.
Jeep Liberty, incredibly capable, surprisingly affordable. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
New Jersey Jersey Gladiators football is back, full of all the board-bashing, high-scoring action of the Arena Football League. The New Jersey Gladiators crashing on the Yes beginning April 27th. Any closer and you'd need a helmet. On the next Yes Network magazine, get an insider's look at Boomer's Bungalow.
This is my pride and joy. I love collecting, and whoever sees this will know that I am a true Yankee fan.
On the next Yes Network magazine, tomorrow at 10, only on Yes.
Pedro Martinez sitting in the dugout. He'll watch Rolando Araujo try to work out of the sixth inning jam. Moments before, he came off the mound to a rousing ovation from the fans here at Fenway Park. His line so far, 103 pitches, 57 strikes. He went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 hit batters. He allowed 4 runs, 3 of them earned, and he's obviously responsible for the runner on first base. Put yourself in Pedro's uniform, Jim. Are you happy with this performance, or do you harken back to 2 years and go, yeah, I'm not the same pitcher anymore?
No, I think he's happy with the way he finished off. I mean, we saw enough of those 95-mile-an-hour fastballs, particularly in that 5th inning when he struck out the side. And, you know, he's still coming back from a lot of inactivity from last year. You're not going to get it back in 1 or 2 starts.
Here is Araujo, a 4.15 ERA in 3 games. He fires the first, and White is back.
Araujo is one of those guys that when you stand on the sideline and watch him throw, you wonder how the league ever hits him. I mean, heavy, nasty sinker, splitter. .6'4", 235 pounds. And, of course, he and El Duque, during their days in Cuba, hooked up quite often.
Inside. One out, one on here in the 6th inning. Yankees lead 4-3. They were leading 4-0 before the Red Sox even grabbed a bat. But the Red Sox came back with 3 in the 4th. And that's where we stand right now. Second game of a 4-game set. Slap foul. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. That one is slapped to left field. That'll fall in for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there by Vanderwall. Henderson fields or put the ball into Garcia Parra. Stopping at second is Rondell White. Yankees have runners on first and second now. 1 out for Enrique Wilson.
Well, you mentioned the nice hitting by Vanderwall. Nice approach. John, on the 2-0 swing, tried to hit it that way and not hit particularly hard, but going the other way with the pitch.
Well, the Yankees have been stuck on 4 since the first. They need a run. Give Wells some breathing room. Also give the bullpen some wiggle room as well when they finally turn there.
Yeah, here's a situation that Joe Torre, unlike a lot of other managers, and I think it's Don Zimmer's influence, he'll hit and run.
Pitch to Wilson is a strike.
Well, the object right now, if you're Joe Torre, you want to stay out of the double play and try to get Derek Jeter up there with a chance to do some damage.
The 0-1 is swung and missed. Hey, why don't you keep it here after the last at-bat for the Jeep postgame with Fred Hickman and Susan Waldman and Paul O'Neill, featuring complete analysis of today's game, interviews with players, plus all the scores and highlights from around the league. The Jeep postgame immediately following today's game right here on Yes. And that one is slapped fair inside third base down the left field line. A base hit for Enrique Wilson. Rounding third and heading home is White. Moving to third is Vanderwall. The throw is in time. They get Vanderwall going to third. Moving to second. Behind the throw is Enrique Wilson. So an RBI single for Wilson. Yankees now lead 5-3, but Vanderwall runs himself into an out at third.
Yeah, John Vanderwall gets his first experience of Fenway's left field. Nice hitting by Wilson. He makes it to second easily, but here Ricky Henderson does a nice job of cutting it off, and they nail Vanderwall at third easily.
There's a strike. I wonder if they give Wilson a double there. I think he would have gotten a double.
Yeah, I would think they would. Neither runner ever hesitated. I think there you give Ricky Henderson credit for getting over to the line, cutting that off, turning, and making a decent throw.
Fouled away by Jeter. Although we have not guessed along with Charles Scoggins the official score all day, so we have no idea what he'll do. Here's a look at the tag by Hillenbrand. Pretty nice tag. That one is grounded right side. Through for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Wilson. Trot Nixon just holds on to the ball. An RBI single for Derek Jeter. And the Yankee lead is now 6-3.
Yeah, huge hits by Wilson and Jeter. Just about the time the Red Sox got back in the ball game and got some quality innings out of Pedro Martinez. They touch up Rolando Araujo for 3 consecutive singles. And David Wells has 3 more runs to work with, or a 3-run lead to work with.
Keeping Jeter close. Nick Johnson didn't play. He was 1 for 3 against Pedro. Snap throw to first. Jeter dives back. Six and 0 for the Yankees, 3-5-1 for the Red Sox. Pedro, his line is complete. He will now head into the clubhouse. There's a strike. Of the 2 runs in this inning, 1 scored by White belongs to Pedro. Enrique Wilson's run is charged to Araujo. Prior to this inning, the Yankees were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. In this inning, 2 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Pitch is up and away.
Back-to-back appearances now that Araujo is starting to let the game get out of hand, and yet when you see this guy as a starter sometime, he's got no-hit stuff.
Grady Little looking on. Do you know that Grady Little is big into third person? Like he'll say, you know, Grady Little will do this as a manager. I mean, Michael Kay hates that. 2-1 is grounded foul. I think Ricky Henderson was also a very big third person guy. There he is. His famous quote, that's just Ricky being Ricky.
Right.
You do have a healthy ego when you go third person. No lack of self-esteem when you go third person. Runner goes. The 2-2 is lined deep to right field. But right there is Nixon. Nixon's the one. He puts it away for the final out of the inning. Well, the Yankees score 2 on base hits by Enrique Wilson and Derek Jeter. And they extend their lead to 6-3. David Wells loves it. legend known as New York Yankees baseball continues to grow in 2002. The Harry Potter craze hits Yankee Stadium on Saturday, April 20th, when the Yankees take on Toronto at 1:05. All fans 14 and under receive a Harry Potter trading card courtesy of Wizards of the Coast. Head out to Yankee Stadium and be a part of the Yankees' historic 100th season.
How many 4x4s can you really take off-road?
That was great.
I suppose we better go give these guys a hand, huh?
With its patented four-wheel drive system, Jeep Liberty makes everyday Independence Day.
No laughing this time, guys.
Jeep Liberty, incredibly capable, surprisingly affordable. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
You root for them, believe in them. Now you can invest in them. Introducing eTopps.com. This week, get these limited edition, one-of-a-kind sports cards. Track their value on your own online portfolio. Look how previous cards have gone up. Get to eTopps.com today.
Take a Chrysler tour around the majors. Some interesting things going on. The Indians are 10-1, tied for the best start in franchise history. They did in 59 and 66. The Diamondbacks are 6-0, but that's with Johnson and Schilling 0-5 in the other ones. There's the pitch to Johnny Damon, and also Barry Bonds, 573rd home run last night. He ties a former teammate of Jim Cott's, Harmon Killebrew, for 6th all-time. The Indians, a lot of people thought this was a rebuilding year. The 0-1, there's a strike. But one thing they have is pitching. They're going to win games a little bit differently than they did in the past.
Yeah, that has been the surprise of baseball, I think, so far this year. No Robbie Alomar. Looked like the Indians were going the other way, and there they are at 10-1.
Pitch is low.
And Bonds, it's amazing how many times the guy walks, and when he does get a pitch to hit, he just doesn't miss it. Not only that 573rd home run last night, he just missed another one, went about a yard foul.
Grounded foul. He was moved off the plate after hitting a very long foul home run into the water at Pac Bell yesterday. And just up and in, and he glared out at the pitcher, and a couple of the Yankee coaches said, I don't get it. I mean, how can he be upset? I mean, it's an honor to be moved off the plate, and not enough people do it. He just stands in there and hacks.
Yeah, when you look at his swing, there's plenty of highlight shows to see, the replays of his swing. Instead of sweeping the bat through the hitting area, Barry Bonds does about as good a job of swinging the bat like a former teammate of mine and a hitting coach at one time, Jim Lemon, had this saying.
Pitch to Damon's up and in.
He said, swing the bat like a hammer, not like a broom. And that's what Barry Bonds does. If you see him, he takes that waggle. It's almost like he's hammering the end of the bat right down into the plate. He chops right down through the ball. Doesn't sweep at it.
2-2 to Damon, slap foul. It's amazing. I mean, you just wonder about the physics of it, how he could chop down and have such lift on the ball. I mean, he really hits long drives. He must just hit it at the exact spot.
At point of impact, there is probably a little lift there, but it gives it the appearance that he's hitting down through the ball.
That one is slapped down the left field line, giving chase Rondell White in the corner, and he can't get there.
I think most power hitters have that, just a little bit of a lift. I mean, I saw one of Jim Edmonds. Jim Edmonds has the classic home run hitter's swing. There's a chop stroke by Johnny Damon, just sliced foul down the left field line. And Will Clark also, when Will came up.
And the 2-2. This pitch a 9, or this at bat now at 9 pitch at bat. You mentioned chopping down, and if you remember Paul O'Neill, who's with us in the studio this weekend, when he was taking practice swings, he always swung down, because that's what he was trying to accentuate, rather than a sweeping motion. Grounded foul.
Tough
pitch at bat.
Yeah, tough at bat right here by Johnny Damon. You would expect if Joe Torre could get a clean inning out of David Wells here in a 6-3 lead after 6. You'll see Mendoza and Stanton and Mariano Rivera the last 3.
And the 2-2 is slapped out toward left field again. Coming on, Rondell White going out. Jeter, Rondell White makes the catch right near the line for the first out of the inning. Here's Nomar Garciaparra. Hey, attention, Yankee fans. The New York Yankees would like you to be advised of the increased security measures at Yankee Stadium this season. Backpacks, coolers, glass or plastic bottles, cans, large purses, or large bags will not be permitted in the ballpark. Please leave these items in your vehicle or at home. Diaper bags and small purses will be inspected upon entry, and the New York Yankees thank you in advance for your cooperation. That pitch popped up by Garciaparra. The infielders converge, and Wilson with the catch for the second out of the 6th. David Wells certainly building an amazing story. Back surgery ended his season last year. Many thought it might have ended his career. And he ends up signing with the Yankees. Totally the idea of the Yankee owner, George Steinbrenner. The brain trust did really not want David Wells. And he is on the verge of going 3-0 in his first 3 starts. Yankees still have to get some outs over the final third. But Wells has been great for the Yankees. Here's Manny Ramirez. There's a strike.
Yeah, every game has a rhythm to it. What Boomer did in this game is after the Red Sox scored 3, he went out and struck out 2 of the 3 outs in the 5th inning. And now you get Garciaparra with a 1-pitch out. Kind of get the feeling that he's back in control again.
That one's outside. And we said this in the pregame show. He certainly changed his lifestyle. Yesterday they let him go home early during the night game. And David Cohn, who watched the game from the bleachers, actually got a call in about the 6th inning from David Wells. Let's go get something to eat. Went to eat. He was in bed by 12. He had an 8-hour sleep. That is the new David Wells.
Do we have proof of that?
Do we have proof? Well, David told me.
Okay. We'll take his word for it.
He has changed a lot. I mean, you do see him all the time with water, which he never did, and he's always coming out of the workout room. I don't know what he's doing in there. Here's the 2-1. Going on this.
You know, the older a player gets, Boomer at 38 right now, I mean, the more you can get by with things physically when you're 25 that you can't when you're 38.
I know that.
They should be ashamed of themselves, the rest of the league. They really should be. That's the truth. I mean, I don't know why it is, but, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, if we start winning some games, it'll feel pretty good.
Self-deprecating humor there.
He's got a great attitude toward the game.
Way inside.
There he is again. I mean, I think Sandy Koufax, who became one of the great pitchers of all time, he said, when I became a great pitcher, I started trying to make hitters hit the ball and not try to miss the ball. And when he tried to make them hit it, they missed it.
The 3-0. He's taking and took a strike. There's a strike again. It seems like he can throw strikes when he wants to, so he's just really trying to, as you said, trying to get you to chase terrible pitches.
If you took a hitter out of the box and just had a pitcher play catch with a catcher, be surprised how many strikes they could throw, right? But you get bat shy, especially when you've had 2 bad outings in a row like Arrojo has.
Pitch to Ventura is inside, so two out walks by Arrojo. Gives the Yankees a little bit of an opportunity. First and second, 2 outs, and that brings up Rondell White and also brings out Tony Cloninger, the pitching coach.
The pattern has been pretty consistent this inning. See Veritek have to reach for that pitch. Breaking pitches from Arrojo well off the plate, not getting Yankee hitters to commit to any of them. Talked to Tony before yesterday's game. He and Grady Little became friends in the minor leagues, even though they were in different organizations. Tony was roving for the Yankees, Grady managing, I believe, in the minor leagues for the Braves, and occasionally they would ride back to the hotel together, and that's where they developed their relationship, began to talk baseball, and Grady got the job here as manager. Oh, now Tony's going to get run. He's arguing with Cubby Culbreth on the pitches. Wow.
And his buddy Grady Little jogs out to break it up. I got to be honest, Jim, I don't know what pitches he missed.
Yeah, I don't know if that goes back to maybe pitches earlier in the game.
Tony was the Yankee bullpen coach during this championship run, and was actually a scout for the Giants during spring training. And when Grady Little got the job, he named Tony Conacher the pitching coach. So did you see him get runs in?
I thought I saw Cubby Culbreth point to the dugout, either tell him get back in the dugout. That's usually the sign we see for running a guy out of the ball game.
We'll see if Tony takes all the stuff and goes inside. Looks like he's going to stay there. The pitch to Rondell White's inside.
Well, you can tell how unenthusiastic it is for players playing behind a guy like this.
Rondell White hits one deep to center field. Going back is Damon on the track at the wall. He makes the play for the final out of the inning. So Rondell White gave it a ride, but Johnny Damon ran it down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. At the end of 6.5, why don't you get up and stretch? Yankees are leading 6-3, but we'll stay right here, and we'll stand ourselves and listen to God Bless America. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Yankees lead 6-3. We'll be back at the bottom of the 7th right after these words. Back here at Fenway Park, bottom of the 7th inning. Yankees lead the Red Sox 6-3. David Wells will pitch the bottom of the 7th inning. He's pitched very well so far. 85 pitches over the first 6. And it'll be Hillenbrand, Varitek, and Trot Nixon against the Yankees veteran left-hander. Hillenbrand 1 for 2, an RBI single. And the pitch is inside, 1-0. Pitch is grounded left side, past the diving Ventura into left field. Rondell White flips it into Jeter, and Hillenbrand, who's had to a great start this season, picks up his second hit. He's now 13 for 34 on the year.
Making quite a statement early in the year. Leads the Red Sox in RBIs and has more hits than any other player on their team. 13 hits on the year now in 9 games for Hillenbrand.
Here's Jason Varitek. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to short, wrapped into a 4-6-3 double play. Wells deals. Foul back. We mentioned yesterday how Tony Clark became a switch hitter. He was playing the Little League game, and he was up by 11 runs, and his father said, why don't you try to hit left-handed? Jason Varitek would not be allowed to play with his friends around his neighborhood because he was too good a right-handed hitter. So they wouldn't let him play unless he batted left-handed. And that's how he became a switch hitter. Foul back. I always find that interesting because you could see the genesis of a player when they were a little kid. Because Don Mattingly once told me, I always asked him, how come you're so good at going the other way? And he said, well, we used to play in the yard outside our home in Evansville. He said we had a big willow tree in right field. And if you pulled the ball, and there's Mendoza warming up, and the ball went into the willow tree, it was an out. He said, so the only way you can get hits is go the other way. And that's how I became an opposite field hitter. So Jason Varitek's friends would not let him bat right-handed. That's how he became a switch hitter. The 0-2 is popped up, sky high. Home run in a silo. Wilson's right there at second base, shading his eyes from the sun. And he puts it away for the first out of the inning.
For a lot of us as kids, Michael, were like, when I was a kid, I was the only left-hander. And so when you played 3-on-3 or 4-on-4, anything to the right field side, a second you were out, you had to hit it to the left field side. And that was the old pitcher's hands are out. You used pitcher's mound for first base. So that's how a lot of left-handed kids like myself, you learned to hit the ball the other way, because if you didn't, you were out in the playground games.
Here's Trot Nixon. And the pitch. A little bit high.
You know, in those days, it was socially unacceptable to be a left-hander. You know, a lot of families, if you were a kid and you picked up a spoon or something with your left hand, they'd take it out and put it in your right hand.
Right.
They didn't want anybody to be left-handed. Fortunately, we've seen that change. We see a lot of left-handers nowadays.
A little bit low. Now agents will go around and go to baby wards, maternity wards, and let these kids be left-handed.
Yeah, or they'll make them switch hitters in.
Swung and a miss. Wells still has some life on the fastball here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, it might have been as good a fastball as he's thrown the entire game. Aggressive swing by Nixon, couldn't catch up with the high blazer.
And the 2-1. There's a strike. Good pitch right on the black on the outside corner. Count levels at 2-2. Crowd very quiet here at Fenway. Yankees lead 6-3, bottom of the 7th. And the 2-2. Fouled away.
You get lulled to sleep in these games in Fenway Park as the, you know, even though it's a great rivalry, the fans here, for the most part, when the Red Sox aren't winning or till later in the game, it's a very, very quiet crowd. Yet from the pitching standpoint, you always know you're only one pitch away from, you know, the other team being right back in it.
2-2 is popped up, sky high again. Wells is right there. So is Giambi, and he puts it away for the second out of the inning. Tomorrow night at 10, be sure to catch Yes Network magazine for an inside look at the other house that Ruth built, the home of Yankees pitcher David Wells. From his huge collection of baseball memorabilia to his dozens of autographed electric guitars, Davis takes us on a guided tour you won't want to miss. Yes Network magazine tomorrow night at 10 on the Yankee Entertainment and Sports Network. That should be interesting. Get to see David Wells' house. There's Ray Sanchez. Swung on a miss. It's highly unlikely we'll be invited in personally, so you might as well see it on Yes Network magazine. Right. Well, you might, too.
Yeah, I'm a left-hander.
Yeah. Me, no chance. The 0-1 is pump back, one hopper to Wilson, and he flips to Giambi for the final out of the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. 7 in the books. Yankees 6, Boston 3.
Do-it-yourselfers looking for the right tools can find them at the Dodge Spring Cleanup event, where you can clean up with great products, great protection, and great values, including 7-year, 100,000-mile engine and transmission protection. plus your choice of up to $3,000 cash allowance or 0% financing. The Dodge Spring Cleanup event. Ford, GM, Honda, and Toyota don't match it.
Nothing gets it done like a Dodge.
Now for the backyard. It's Yankees baseball on Yes. The Bronx Bombers continue their monster match against Manny and the Sox in a Sunday afternoon clash in Boston. Join Fred Hickman and Paul O'Neill for complete pregame coverage tomorrow starting at noon only on Yes.
Place really looks great.
Oh, thanks.
Can't wait to see it when it's done.
You and me both. The sooner we finish adding that space, the better.
Well, this new line of credit should be more than enough. You can call me if you have any questions.
Oh, I will, and thanks, Eric. Thanks again for coming down.
No problem. It's nice to get a little change of scenery.
Hey, I'm gonna need that back.
Oh, yeah.
Fleet small business specialists give you expert advice, one-on-one. There's a way to make banking better, and we're working on it.
Almost there.
What makes the Nissan Pathfinder the envy of all SUVs? The #1 selling V6 import SUV in the Northeast. A 5-star crash test rating. 240 horsepower. Hey, if you were an SUV, you'd be jealous too. And now, get low 3.9% APR for 60 months, plus $1,000 cash back on the new Pathfinder. Offers end April 30. Nissan. Driven.
We go to the 8th inning. Yankees lead the Red Sox 6-3. Arrojo on the mound, and he will face 8-9-1 in the Yankee order. John Vanderwall starts it off. And there's a strike. There's David Wells. He's within 6 outs of his 3rd win. Mendoza has warmed. Wells is at about 98 pitches. We'll get an exact count. So he's not too high at all. The 0-1 is popped up foul. 98. How about that? Guessed it right on the nose. 98 pitches, 69 strikes.
Good ratio. Typical game for Boomer. You know, he's economical. He's a lot of fun to play behind. Paul pointed that out on the pregame show. And as I look around at the Red Sox position players behind Arrojo, it is not a lot of fun for them. You'll see him shifting from foot to foot. He has thrown 2 strikes here, but he throws a lot of pitches.
And there's what Jim was talking about again. 0-2, it's a wasted pitch. It's not a waste pitch. There's no chance anyone's going to swing at it.
It has no purpose. If waste pitches, if pitchers would throw more 2-strike pitches within the confines of the plate, high or low, they get more swings.
Shook up the crowd, Mike, with that foul back.
Willie Banks, nice story there. There's a game recap. And Willie Banks, back in 1987, was the highest pitcher drafted. I mean, he was drafted ahead of Jack McDowell, Kevin Napier. That was the year that Ken Griffey Jr. was the #1 pick overall, and Willie was the most sought-after pitcher in the country coming out of high school. Great basketball player as well. Played with Terry DeHare, Bobby Hurley.
At St. Anthony's. Jersey City. Grounded sharply to Garcia Powell. 1 away. Now, for those of you that do not read that quickly, we'll take a longer look at the game recap. Wells, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Posada, the big blow, a 3-run triple in the first. Enrique Wilson and Derek Jeter, RBI singles in the 6th. And Pedro Martinez, who started for the Red Sox, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. But he did get better as he moved along. His first inning was rocky. And right now, he is set to take the loss unless the Red Sox rally. The pitch to Wilson is grounded through the right side for a base hit. So Enrique Wilson with a rare start, making the most of it. He's 2 for 4. He's a perfect bench player because he accepts his role and then does well when he gets an opportunity.
Another good job by the Yankees scouting system. There's a pitch. See Veritek have to reach back toward the inside half, and Enrique's first hit went down the left field line. That went inside. He pulls it into right field. So they spotted a guy who they knew in Cleveland had some talent, could play all 3 infield positions, a switch hitter. As you mentioned, he is the perfect bench player for the Yankees.
Here's Derek Jeter. He's 2 for 4 out of the leadoff hole. Grounded foul outside of third.
Enrique Wilson's RBI back in the 6th inning really was one of the key hits of the game, other than Posada's triple, because the Red Sox had scored 3, and you got the feeling that they were getting back in it. And then as soon as Pedro came out of the game, 3 consecutive hits, and Wilson knocks in a run, and they take a 6-3 lead.
Go to first in Wilson's bat. Jeter is 2 for 4, as we mentioned. A double, a run scored, a single, and an RBI. And his lifetime totals as a leadoff batter, very, very good. A .333 lifetime batting average out of the number 1 hole.
And a good on-base percentage as well over 400.
So he's known as a cut-and-slash guy, but he does have a great on-base percentage in the leadoff spot. There he hits one to right field. Nixon battling the sun. He puts it away. Enrique Wilson was halfway to second, hustles back to first. This would be the type of day that would be maddening, because when that ball was hit, the sun was out. And then as it was descending into Nixon's glove, a cloud came in front of the sun.
Yeah, this right field right now at this time of the day gets a little tough out there. You think back to the great battles in the late 70s. You can almost still see Lou Piniella fighting the ball off, getting his body in front of it to block it, fighting it out of the late afternoon sun. Well, I'm surprised Arrojo doesn't get called for a balk on one of these. The rules say step toward first, and he just kind of spins. He never really takes a step over that. That's a very borderline balk move.
Pitch to Nick Johnson's a strike. You mentioned Piniella fighting that. That was one of the big plays in that 78 playoff game. I think it was Jerry Remy who hit the ball, I believe. That was the Bucky Dent home run game.
Jerry and Iron Man here in Boston working the commentary on the Red Sox television network. There he is. But you look at Ricky and Laugh, Hillenbrand, these guys don't know what to do. I mean, Arrojo's putting his teammates to sleep.
Way inside. Well, that is obviously the book on Nick Johnson early. Go inside, pound him inside. There's Ricky Ford checking out people in the stands. Johnny Damon blowing some bubbles. Runner goes, the pitch is fouled back.
We talked last night how Darren Oliver, the starter for the Red Sox, did such a great job with sitting in the booth last year for the Rangers, and realized what a slow-paced game this is. And Eric Nadel, the radio announcer, said, boy, you're slow like that too. In spring training and during some of the work stoppages, we used to play inter-squad games, and then the pitchers would get a chance to play the outfield. Then you really get a feeling, if you have a chance to do that, how much fun it is to play behind a pitcher like Wells, who works fast and throws strikes.
That one is popped up. Left field side, giving chase as Ricky slips, but regains his footing and has a snatch catch just to make it look pretty. Loses balance and still cuts the mustard. That is Ricky Henderson to a T. No runs to hit, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 7.5 innings of play, Yankees 6, Red Sox 3. You're watching Yes. Put it away, Ricky.
On the next center stage,
Good afternoon and welcome to Yankee Stadium.
the world's #1 Yankees fan, Billy Crystal.
The Yankees are the greatest team of all time.
Center stage, tomorrow night at 8.
Only on Yes.
Hey, how you been?
Fun girl.
I'm great. My friend Molly and I decided to get away for a while.
Molly?
So we rented from Hertz.com.
Who's Molly?
It was so easy. Found their best rates, special offers.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're having so much fun together at the beach.
Maybe I should go to Hertz.com and drive down too.
Sound good to you, Molly?
I'm telling you, this is the best deal in town. I got the cruise control, air conditioning, power windows, door locks, and mirrors, all for $189 a month. What? No, what? You sound like a car commercial. Didn't they tell you?
The Civic from Honda. It figures. Now you can lease a 2002 Civic LX for $189 a month for 36 months.
Every weekday afternoon, get the most in-depth analysis and interviews with Mike and the Mad Dog on Yes, a live simulcast of New York's #1 rated sports talk show, presented with no apologies and no holds barred. Mike and the Mad Dog, only on Yes, the home of champions.
Please keep it right here after the last at-bat for the Jeep postgame show with Fred Hickman, Susan Waldman, and Paul O'Neill, featuring complete analysis of today's game, interviews with players, plus all the scores and highlights from around the league. The Jeep postgame immediately following today's game right here on Yes, and you knew it. Jim, there's no way that Paul O'Neill was going to miss a Red Sox series.
No. He'll be there for all four, won't he?
I believe he will. He's got to get up early on Monday, though.
He's used to it.
An 11 a.m. start. Here's Ricky Henderson. Pitches inside. Last out of the top of the 8th inning, Ricky loses his footing, but not just content to regain his footing. Has to put it away with the snatch.
With some flair.
Yeah. That's Ricky being Ricky. Foul back. A player like that, as an opposing player, do you hate him?
I don't know if you hate him. He gets under your skin, but of course, as a teammate, you like to have a player like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like to have a guy with a little swagger that irritates the opposition.
Gerald Williams has taken over in right field for John Vanderwall. Yankees tightening up their defense. That one is punched out toward first base. Giambi right there. He makes the catch in foul territory. One away.
That's one of those at-bats right there. Now, if you have a good camaraderie with your teammates and you can agitate each other in a friendly way, nobody else can do it, but as teammates you can. You tell Ricky, ball's not carrying that way. Don't go to right field anymore. That little broken bat pop-up. I'll tell you, Boomer's been impressive after the Red Sox got to within one. Go back to that 5th inning. He's gotten got 6 out of 7. They've only had 2 base runners, a walk and a single by Hillenbrand since the Red Sox got within 1 back in the bottom of the 4th. And they really shouldn't have had those 3 runs. They've got maybe 1 legitimate run today.
That one is ripped down the right field line, but foul. Just missed the pesky pole. That's the shortest home run in the big leagues if you hit that pole.
There's no marker there, but 300 feet, maybe less than that.
Maybe less than that. It goes straight out, but the pole is very close. You know, they have markings down the left field line, Jim. It's 310 to the wall right down the line. And the media, the New York media pays the Boston media every year. 1 game at Yankee Stadium, 1 game at Fenway Park. And 1 year I have a size 12 feet, so I know it's a foot. And I was marking it off from third base because I know that's at least 90 feet.
That's good.
Foul back, and I was working my way down there. Somebody from the grounds crew moved me off the line.
Yeah.
They don't want you to find out what the exact total is.
You remember Jim Bunning, who's been involved in politics for years now, out of the state of Kentucky. Great pitcher for years with the Tigers in the American League before going to the National League. He walked it off one time, and it came out about 10 to 15 feet shorter than what they said.
See, they let Jim Bunning do it. I had no chance.
That's what that politics will do for you.
Absolutely. And now he's a Republican, you said?
Yes. I think he's a senator now.
That's why I went down the left field line.
Good.
The 3-2 is lined to center field and deep. Going back, Bernie Williams. Still back, still back, still back. Reaches up, he dropped the ball. Stopping at second is Johnny Damon. That was in Bernie's glove. Knowing this official score, that'll definitely be a double. I'm sure David Wells thinks it should have been an out, but Bernie got a good jump on it, just could not hold on.
Yeah, Bernie just kind of drifts with that ball. He's trying to stride for stride, catch it like a wide receiver. If he gets back to the ball a little quicker, he's going to catch that ball easily. I mean, by Bernie Williams standards, that's an error all the way. I don't know how they'll score it here. As you mentioned, they're probably going to give Damon a hit, and that'll be Boomer's last pitch.
And Ramiro Mendoza will come on. He will face Nomar Garciaparra. We'll come back to that matchup right here at Fenway Park.
Yeah, let's score the hit.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore and love.
Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
It's Yankees baseball on Yes. The Bronx Bombers continue their monster match against Manny and the Sox in a Sunday afternoon clash in Boston. Join Fred Hickman and Paul O'Neill for complete pregame coverage tomorrow starting at noon only on Yes. Their names echo through history.
The luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, the Yes Network brings you their stories with Yankeeography. 1 hour behind the life and times of the men, the players, the Yankees. See them from boyhood to the Bronx and beyond. True stories of true legends.
Kids were drawn to him as if by magic.
Go inside the pinstripes on Yankeeography. Only on Yes, the home of champions.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Here's tonight's starting lineup on the Yes Network, the home of champions.
Mendoza has finished his warm-ups, and he's got quite a task ahead of him. Nomar Garciaparra, one of the best hitters in baseball, at the plate with a runner on second base. That was scored a double, by the way. 7th base hit for the Red Sox, and that hits Garciaparra. Obviously, Philbin Culbreth not saying that that was on purpose. Wouldn't make sense to do that.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned it last inning. You're always one pitch away from the other team being right back in it. First pitch catches Nomar right on the elbow.
And here's Manny Ramirez stepping in as the tying run. First and second with one out here in the bottom of the 8th. Yankees lead 6-3. And the pitch. Swung and a miss. Wells' line so far, 7 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. He threw 110 pitches, 76 strikes. Yankees get up Mariano Rivera in the bullpen just in case. And the 0-1. Breaking ball strike. 0-2.
Mendoza has Ramirez in a situation, works to his strengths right now. Ramiro with that good off-speed pitch and sinker. That was a breaking ball in a perfect spot. In a position to try to get a ground ball.
And the 0-2. Grounded foul. Did not waste the 0-2 pitch, and Ramirez a little too quick.
Now here's a great example of how that 0-2 pitch can work for you. That's Mendoza last season in 56 games. Good control.
Stayed back in spring training. A stiff neck set him back. A couple of rehab starts or rehab assignments, and then He was fine. The 0-2 in the dirt, blocked nicely by Posada, saving a wild pitch and keeping the double play in order.
See that almost corkscrew spin on the Mendoza sinker, and a nice job by Posada getting out there to block it.
The 1-2 buzzes him inside with the fastball. Count levels at 2-2. Wants it to work on this pitch.
Well off the plate, and Ramirez just gets his arm out of the way. See, here's the zone right here that a pitcher can use to his advantage right now. Nobody's going down there. That's where you get a hitter to commit.
2-2, fouled straight back. Ramirez flied to right in the second, RBI single to left in the fourth, and then walked in the sixth. David Wells watching Mendoza trying to save his game.
Yeah, David Wells' line should look even better than it is. I mean, you'd lead the league in hitting playing for Boston, the hits they give you here.
7 hits on the board, we'd say 4 legitimate ones, right? Two. He reaches out and punches it toward right field. Coming on, Gerald Williams is going to dunk in front of him. Scoring easily is Damon. Going to third is Garcia Parra. An RBI single for Manny Ramirez. And the Yankee lead is now 6-4.
Manny Ramirez just reaches out and serves it into right field. Nice plate coverage. The back foot go back, defensive swing, but with that deep right field, Gerald Williams has to respect his power. Playing back there, falls in front of him, and Joe Torre right back out to the mound again for another pitching change.
Torre not wanting to mess with this, he will call on his closer, Mariano Rivera, to get the final 5 outs of the game. So as Mo jogs in from right field, we'll duck out for just a moment.
Compared to Honda Civic and Ford Focus, Dodge Neon SXT gives you more cool features, like 132 horsepower, a 6-speaker CD sound system, spoiler, and fog lamps, for thousands less. Just something to reflect on. Grab Dodge's 7-100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, Toyota, and Honda don't match it.
It's Yankees baseball on Yes. The Bronx Bombers continue their monster match against Manny and the Sox in a Sunday afternoon clash in Boston. Join Fred Hickman and Paul O'Neill for complete pregame coverage tomorrow starting at noon only on Yes. Get an intimate look at the lives of today's superstars with the Yes Network's new interview series, Center Stage, where the most celebrated names go one-on-one with host Michael Kay and a live studio audience.
You two hated each other. I was deathly afraid of my father. I was an expert in quarterbacking. They threw me out.
It's an in-depth conversation you'll hear nowhere else.
I wanted to be mayor to change the direction of the city.
Michael Kay hosts Center Stage, only on Yes, the home of champions.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Here's tonight's starting lineup on the Yes Network, the home of champions.
Well, the Yankees go to Mariano Rivera. He has 4 saves in 4 games. This obviously a save situation. He's pitched 3 2/3 innings, allowed 4 hits, struck out 5, and of course he's not walked a batter, and he comes into a pretty messy situation. 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and Tony Clark is at the plate.
You almost wonder if Tony Clark would do what we've seen some switch hitters do lately. Stay on the right side of the plate. Mariano is so effective against left-hand hitters, particularly guys like Clark with that long swing. He breaks a lot of bats.
So Joe elects to go with Rivera for 5 outs rather than mix and match Stanton and Carsey. Rivera had a lot of 1+ saves last year, and they wanted to stay away from that this year. Clark will bat left-handed. And the pitch. Foul back. Just missed the fastball.
That might be the best pitch he'll get to hit in the at-bat. You don't often see Mariano leave that cut. That cutter looked like it didn't cut. It just hung right out over the plate. Of course, the Yankees have lost 3 in a row, so he's had plenty of rest. Used to this situation, having to get more than 3 outs.
The 0-1. Grounded to first, fielded there by Giambi, and he only has 1 out. He takes it at first. Scoring is Garcia Parra as Ramirez moves to second. I thought for a second that he had a chance at a double play, but his foot gave out.
Well, we know Jason Giambi's there for his hitting ability. I mean, this is a play that there was no one better in baseball than making that 3-6-3 double play than Tino Martinez. And Jason made the right decision there. It would have been a gamble to try to go to second. He just said, let's take the sure out.
So now the tying run is in scoring position for Shea Hillenbrand. Yankees lead 6-5. They've led 4-0 and 6-3. And there's a strike. He buzzes a fastball on the inside corner. Mendoza watching Rivera clean up his mess. A try. The 0-1. Another fastball inside.
Seen Mariano do that a little bit more in the last year or so. Instead of the cutter, which all the time goes away from the right-hand hitter, he's used that two-seamer to come in on the hands once in a while.
Another one inside, too far inside. The count 2-1. Even if they don't score here, Jim, you get another guy on, you push the 9th inning maybe where the top guys will come up against Rivera. Hillenbrand, number 6 in the lineup. He's kept the ball in the same place every single pitch. 4 pitches, all on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, that's a little different switch for Mo. He usually runs that cutter away. See, that's got cutter spin, but it's not cutting.
Ramirez leads off second. Yankees lead 6-5. And the 2-2. Swung on a drill deep to left field. That could go. See ya! A home run into the screen by Shea Hillenbrand. And the Red Sox have come all the way back. They lead 7-6. Here's the pitch to Varitek, inside. And the 1-0 to Varitek is grounded foul. Crowd giving Hillenbrand an extended standing ovation. The upraised hands tell you all you need to know. Joy in Boston. Inside.
Well, the nice slow-mo shot we had of the pitch just before the home run told you that Mariano's cutter today does not have that biting cut action to it. And Hillenbrand took advantage of that one. The hanger.
That one's drilled deep to right field, but foul. Misses the pesky pole. Remember last April, Mariano blew a save here when Manny Ramirez hit a game-winning single in the bottom of the 9th inning. And this is his first blown save of this year. The 2-2. Foul back. So David Wells' day wasted. Ugi Urbina will close it for the Red Sox, or at least try, in the top of the ninth. And the pitch is grounded right side. On the backhand is Giambi. Takes it himself. He beats Baratek to the bag. And the inning for the Yankees mercifully over. But not before the Red Sox score 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. 8 full innings of play. The Red Sox have come all the way back. They lead 7-6.
Get a second chance to catch all the great... Somewhere out there, your team is taking the ice. And you can be there, coast to coast. Now Sports in Demand brings your team home. With NHL Center Ice on digital cable, you can choose from up to 35 out-of-market games a week. Don't miss this special offer. Order the 2002-2003 NHL Center Ice package today and get the rest of this year's package free. You can either fly to a different city every night or pocket the airfare and get NHL Center Ice. Don't miss this special offer. Call now.
I need 3,300 gallons of gasoline.
I need an ultrasound machine.
There are nearly 25 million small businesses in the U.S.
I need 70 more rolls of paper.
And all of them have one thing in common. They need things.
I need 480 tons of plaster. I need to ship 3,000 pounds of monkfish.
Things to keep them going.
We need to get 6 tickets for Tokyo.
And growing.
I need 10 more computers.
That's why we created the Business Purchase Account from Open, the Small Business Network. It combines the power to make large purchases with the flexibility to pay in installments. So you can get what your business needs when you need it.
Not next week.
Not tomorrow.
Now.
Without worrying about credit limits or loan approvals. Apply for your Business Purchase Account. There's no fee the first year. Call 1-800-NOW-OPEN.
I need a better way to buy what I need.
The Business Purchase Account from Open, the Small Business Network. One of the new tools for a small business economy from American Express.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Here's tonight's starting lineup on the YES Network, the home of champions.
New York Yankees baseball has been brought to you by Jeep. There's only one, and it's only at your tri-state Jeep dealer. And by Continental Airlines, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Continental Airlines. Work hard. Fly right. A tough outing by the Yankee bullpen. First Ramiro Mendoza, then Mariano Rivera. A very moments ago un-Mariano-like move right here. You'll see him slam his glove down, and that is not Mariano Rivera. Very angry with himself after giving up that home run to Shea Hillenbrand.
A lot of mistakes today by the Yankees. Not just Mariano throwing the home run, but ball that Bernie Williams should have caught. A couple of errant throws by Ventura. Yankees made a lot of mistakes today to take the lead into the 8th inning, and it finally caught up with him with one swing.
Well, Grady Little goes to his closer, Ugi Urbina, and he will face Bernie Williams, Giambi, and Posada. And there's the strike. Well, the Yankees have wasted David Wells' good performance, and now they'll try to get out of this and force a bottom of the 9th inning. The 0-1, way inside. Urbina has 4 saves and 6 outings, but a very bloated 8.44 ERA. He blew a game against the Royals on Thursday night. That pitch is swung and missed, but he came in to save yesterday's game.
That's a pitch he's been getting hurt on right there, the changeup. Fastball in the 90s, and then here's the Urbina changeup. Similar to Pedro Martinez earlier in the game, gets Bernie Williams well out front.
Bernie's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored today. And the 1-2 just missed outside. Last year, these two teams played 10 one-run games, and the Yankees were 8-2 in those games. Well, yesterday was a one-run game. The Red Sox won that 3-2. And today also a one-run game, and the Red Sox are winning 7-6. So their inability to get close games last year cost them, and trying to turn that around this season. The 2-2. Grounded toward first, backing up is Clark. He fields and flips to Urbina, covering. One away.
Number 25, the first baseman, Jason Giambi.
Here's Jason Giambi, hit by pitches in his first 2 at-bats by Pedro Martinez. Then he struck out looking and grounded to short. 4 for 4 yesterday, 0 for 2 today. Yankees led 4-0 before the Red Sox even came to bat. Then it was 4-3. Then it was 6-3 Yankees, but 4 runs in the 8th inning have given the Red Sox their first lead. Pitch is outside. They play Giambi to pull. Garcia-Parra up the middle. Hillenbrand way off the line at third. Swung and missed on a change.
Mentioned the not in the box score aspects of baseball, Michael, and there's a good example. No errors charged to the Yankees, and it's really been their inability to make plays. They've given the Red Sox 5 and 6 outs in some of the innings today.
That one is popped up left side. Giving chase is Hillenbrand near the seats. Out of play. No, it should be 3 errors at least.
Yes.
2 on Ventura, and we both think that Bernie should have caught that ball.
And failure to turn a double play by Enrique Wilson, and a ball hit to Giambi that could have been a 3-6-3 double play. So a lot of extra outs that the Yankees gave Boston today.
Mariano still very upset about the Hillenbrand home run. He never shows that sort of emotion. Many in the crowd of 33,756 on their feet. The 1-2 just missed outside. Count levels. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball by Urbina. The right-hander sets, and the 2-2. Grounded right side, backing up is Clark. Fields again, flips to Urbina again, 2 away. And that leaves it up to Jorge Posada. So the Yankees, who won 7 in a row, now in danger, 1 out away from losing their 4th in a row. The final 2 in Toronto, and the first 2 of a 4-game set here in Boston.
And this one the most painful because they got such a great performance out of David Wells. Usually the Yankees win with outstanding starting pitching, good defense, and a reliable bullpen. Today the bullpen not reliable, neither was the defense.
Urbina, the 3rd Red Sox pitcher. Pedro started, Arrojo in relief, and now Urbina here in the 9th. Pitch to Posada is a strike.
Just a matter of guessing with Urbina. If you can guess changeup or fastball, you get one or the other. But there's a nice variety between his fastball in the low to mid 90s, and he takes a lot off that changeup.
Posada, switch hitter, batting from the left side. And the 0-1. Outside. Rivera probably replaying that pitch in his mind. And the 1-1. Up and away, 2-1.
You know, there are wins during the season, and we've seen this for the Yankees over the recent years. I think of the Grand Slam home run that Tino Martinez hit in Baltimore back in '96. But if the Red Sox go on and have a good year and keep contending, this is one of those games you put a little circle around. It's a big turnaround for them.
And the 2-1. Low and away. 3-1 on deck. Robin Ventura. Don't forget, after the game, the post-game show, the Jeep post-game show. Fred Hickman and Paul O'Neill back in the studio and working the clubhouse, Susan Waldman. So you want to keep it right here on Yes for the Jeep post-game show. And the 3-1. Strike on the outside corner, so Posada has worked it full. The crowd stands. Looking for one more strike. And the 3-2. They'll do it again. Rivera seems in a daze. He had converted his first 3 save opportunities this year after blowing Game 7 of the World Series last year. And now this, the home run to Hillenbrand. And the 3-2. Swung on line drive, base hit. Posada keeps the game alive for the Yankees. A good at bat by Posada, and that gives Ventura a swing.
Red Sox fans have seen enough of this. They know a win over the Yankees would never be easy. That's a pitch that Posada can really drive. In fact, he gets under that a little. This is a tie ball game. Spanks that into right field. Tying run at first. And Joe Torre will go to his bench and get a little more speed over there at first base. Alfonso Soriano, who didn't join us from the start, was held out of today's game because of a little tightness in the hamstring. But Soriano had told Joe before the game he was able to play. And here he is in a situation where we're going to try to use his legs.
Let's see if the Yankees gamble and have him steal second base. Here is Ventura. Throw to first, and Soriano dives back. Now, do you think the pinch runner is there to score on a double, or do you think they want him to steal second?
I think he's there to score on a double. You got a guy who's been one of their, he's leading the league in RBIs. He's hit 4 home runs. Don't want to end the game without giving him a chance to swing the bat.
There's a strike. One thing to consider. Opposing base runners have been successful all 12 times against Jason Varitek. So we keep that in the back of our minds as Soriano stares across the diamond at Willie Randolph. Varitek looks into the dugout for a sign. And the 0-1. Outside. The life of a closer, not too easy. And Mariano's day, miserable because of that man, Shea Hillenbrand. 1-1. Outside. And the 2-1 runner goes. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second is in time. Yankees lose the game as Soriano gets gunned down at second base by Varitek. Oh, what a way to lose a game, and oh, what a game to lose. The first base runner that Varitek has nailed all year. So they take the bat out of Ventura's hand, and Soriano gets gunned down at second base to end the ball game.
He did not get a good jump. He hadn't been in the game the whole time. See, it takes him a couple of ticks to get going. And justification for Varitek, even though the numbers did not look good, they said he'd thrown well the entire game. I'm not too sure Soriano didn't get the hand in. Larry Young at second base, but he came off the bag. Actually, he was there to start with. I think he had the hand in early and then could not maintain contact with the bag. And what a way to end the ball game. Pitch in for a strike, and Varitek celebrates the first runner he's thrown out this season, and it's a game winner for the Red Sox, and Grady Little's reaction.
A pretty happy Grady Little. Yankees aren't too thrilled. Plenty more to come. We'll be back to wrap this baby up. Red Sox come from behind to beat the Yankees 7-6.
Relive the greatest pinstripe moments on the next Yankees Classic, the night Louisiana Lightning struck again. And again. And again. Today at 5, only on Yes. Take a walk through the history of our great national pastime with Baseball as America, a Yes Network special that chronicles over 160 years of memories from the Baseball Hall of Fame. Baseball as America, only on Yes.
Legend known as New York Yankees baseball continues to grow in 2002. On Sunday, April 21st at 1:05, it's Cap Day. All fans receive a New York Yankees cap courtesy of Blue Cross Blue Shield. Head out to Yankee Stadium and be a part of the Yankees' historic 100th season.
Do-it-yourselfers looking for the right tools can find them at the Dodge Spring Cleanup event, where you can clean up with great products, great protection, and great values, including 7-year, 100,000-mile engine and transmission protection. Plus your choice of up to $3,000 cash allowance or 0% financing. The Dodge Spring Cleanup event. Ford, GM, Honda, and Toyota don't match it.
Nothing gets it done like a Dodge.
Now for the backyard.
The Hertz Prestige Collection. Jaguar. Volvo. Lincoln. Land Rover.
The Hertz Prestige Collection. Does anyone but Hertz have a collection like this? Not exactly.
Every weekday afternoon, get the most in-depth analysis and interviews with Mike and the Mad Dog on Yes, a live simulcast of New York's #1 rated sports talk show, presented with no apologies and no holds barred. Mike and the Mad Dog, only on Yes, the home of champions.
Shea Hillenbrand watches the out at second base, the final out, and he is pumped. And that was a big final out because of him. He's involved in the play of the game, which is brought to you by Continental Airlines, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Continental Airlines. Work hard, fly right.
He got a cutter from Mariano Rivera that stayed on the inside part of the plate. A game-winning two-run homer.
Talk about work hard, fly right. That flew right onto the screen, and that was the game winner for the Red Sox as they beat the Yankees 7-6, 7-9-1, beat 6-8-0. Arojo with the win in relief. Rivera blew the save and took the loss. Urbina his fifth save. The time of the game an unmanageable 3 hours and 9 minutes. Hillenbrand 3 for 4, a home run and 3 ribbies. Johnny Damon 2 for 4, 2 runs scored and an RBI. So you might wonder, well, who's the player of the game? Well, here's a look at today's Dodge player of the game. Dodge, get somewhere. Grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Well, he deserved to get the win. David Wells. 7 1/3 innings. Bullpen couldn't close it down. Even started a nifty double play early in the ball game, and he's our Dodge player of the game.
And he gets nothing out of it because of the bullpen He does not get his third win of the season. We've got more to come, and then also after that, the Jeep postgame show, Fred Hickman, Paul O'Neill, and Susan Walton working the clubhouse right now. You want to have this game reviewed, and we'll do just that when we get back.
Yankees Magazine is back. Somewhere out there, your team is taking the court, and you can be there coast to coast. Now, Sport in Demand brings your team home. With NBA League Pass on digital cable, you can choose from up to 40 out-of-market games a week. Don't miss this special offer. Order the 2002-2003 NBA League Pass package today and get the rest of this year's package free. You can either fly to a different city every night or pocket the airfare and get NBA League Pass. Don't miss this special offer. Call now. He's a first-time coach.
Them bum guys are coach?
They're the last-place team. Together, they become champions. Keanu Reeves.
What do you do around here for fun?
Play baseball with you.
Oh my God, he caught it!
One of the most important things in life is showing up. I'm blown away by your ability to show up.
Get Hardball the easy way on in-demand pay-per-view. Comcast delivers the movies you want right to your home.
And every story. The Wall Street Journal. Business and the business of life.
Today's Wall Street Journal helps you succeed in more ways than ever. Now get 8 weeks of the Journal, including the new Personal Journal, for just 38 cents a day. That's 60% off the cover price. Call 800-215-3500. That's 800-215-3500 for the Wall Street Journal.
Well, the Yankees led 4-0 in the first. They led 6-3, and then their bullpen blew it. Mendoza and Rivera lost the win for David Wells and the Yankees, and the Red Sox win by a score of 7-6, a tough loss for the Yankees. Coming up on Yes Network, the Jeep postgame with Fred Hickman, Paul O'Neill, and Susan Waldman, featuring complete analysis of today's game. Special thanks to our producer, Kevin Smolin, director John Moore, and executive producer John Filippelli. Join us again tomorrow for Yankees baseball as the Bombers take on the Red Sox here at Fenway Park. The action gets underway at noon with the New York Yankees pregame show. For more on the Yes Network, log on to YesNetworkTV.com. For Jim Cott, I'm Michael Kay, saying see ya from Boston. Once again, the final score is Red Sox 7, the Yankees 6. Now let's go to Fred Hickman back in our studio.